your 300 and track bowling. The skip procedure is written on your score sheets. Left lane's moving left this year, right lane's moving right. The lane will tell you exactly where you're going. For those who still have a balance for the Calcutta, that must be paid before you start bowling. We do have side action up there with Shane behind lanes 35 and 36. If you have any questions, any problems, please feel free to pull me to the side. We can discuss it, fix it, get you going. We're going to start you for 10 minutes of practice. Good luck, bowlers. Columbia 300 and track bowling. Please be up when it's your time to bowl. Side action is behind lanes 35 and 36 for Shane. The name arrows are up. Good luck and the bowling.
Well, with that, I guess that's my cue. Welcome in, everybody, to opening round coverage here of the 2024 Springfield Doubles A Squad qualifying game 1 of 7 for you here this morning. My name is Mike Flanagan. If this is your first time coming into Inside Bowling, I welcome you into our broadcast. If you're a longtime viewer here at this channel, welcome back. Certainly happy to be here back in Springfield at Enterprise Park Lanes. Of course, Steve Weimer, who will probably be joining us here sometime throughout the broadcast this weekend. Always great to come down and be at his bowling center. What a great town this is for bowling here in Springfield. Of course, as always, when I get started with my streams, always got some dialing in to do here this morning, so I will adjust some scoreboards, crop some things. But let's talk about who we have out here bowling on the lanes. Lanes 35 and 36, we've got Darren Breedlove and Darren Breedlove Jr. crossing with Casey Murphy and Tyler Corbin. Right next door on the right side of your screen, we have Charlie Law with Elijah Cousins, crossing with Danny Bradley and James Murphy. On the bottom right-hand side of your screen, we have Chad Hankins and Mike McWethy, along with Colin Walsh and John Ralston. That's on the left pair on the bottom right of your screen. And in right next door, Aaron O'Brien and Eddie Bird, and Leah Glazer and Mike Ormsby. The 2024 Springfield Doubles Shootout here at Enterprise Park Lanes is brought to you by Columbia 300, Brunswick and Track, also Springfield Coring and Cutting, Ben Crazy, Classic Yard, and of course Enterprise Park Lanes, host to the Greater Ozarks Open Tournament. I want to say hello to everybody in the chat room this morning. Jason and Josh, Ashley, Martin, Rep. It's great to see you guys here this morning. On this squad, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Looks like 26 teams on this squad. We have 3 squads for you today, A, B, and C squads. And all those streams are already scheduled on Inside Bowling for the day. Write down your email. Up here hanging out in the booth is Kevin Williams. He's the brainchild behind this thing. This event wouldn't be happening without him. I want to thank him and everybody here in Springfield for inviting me back. And folks, I have not looked at the oil pattern yet, and that moment of silence there was for me looking up the oil pattern and getting ready to bring it up on the screen for you. We will take a look at it together right now. All right, let's see. 2024 Springfield Doubles Shootout, 43 feet in length, 27.85 milliliters of oil. It's a 4-to-1 ratio. Okay, so this is not house. This is 4-to-1. Drop brush is at 36 feet. 14 milliliters on the way down, 12 on the way back. Pump is set at 50 ULs. Looks like when I look at the pattern data here, we've got 3 2-to-2s, 2 8-to-8s, 1 9-to-9, 2 10-to-10s, 1 11-to-11, 2 12-to-12s, and a 1 14-to-14. And when I look at the reverse load data, you guys can read those along with me. What I was looking for, if there was any asymmetry in the pattern, but it is a symmetric pattern. Even though it's 4-1, which isn't quite your typical house shot, I do anticipate scores being quite high here this weekend. It's a highly decorated field here as well this weekend. We've got Packy Hanrahan, Tommy Jones will be bowling, Kyle Troop, Zach Wilkins, Kevin Williams. Really, really solid event here. I think this looks a little better here. I'll keep tweaking it. I did have a camera, well, actually a input box fail me a little bit this morning. But I'm working on that for the scoreboards for the other pair. But if this is, if you're normal to this channel, you know it takes me a little while to get going on the day. We've got 21 games of qualifying. Wow, what a weird pin reaction. Two pin. What the hell happened there? I gotta look at this again, some way, somehow. Folks, take a look at this pin action on the last shot on lane 38. All right, here we go. Charlie, pin out of the back. Take a glance over here, lanes 27 through 30. Again, I'll have some scoreboards built for you here shortly. Leah Glazer coming all the way in from Las Vegas. I don't know if she's going to school. Maybe I think she's going to school around here. That's why it's not too far away. I remember Leah when she was really a young bowler coming up through the ranks. Great talent from Las Vegas. What's up, Martin? I'm looking forward to the stream as well. This is going to be great. Just doing a bit of scouting before I hit the lanes on A's. Yeah, for B squad. Yeah, Shem. Pattern super close to last year. Shorter, very, yep. Drop brush, touch further. Okay. Bounce out of here and back to here. Maybe for now I'll just do one of those. Looks a little bit better. Let me go over the teams that are on this squad. AJ Chapman and Sean Lavery are on this squad. They won last year. Junior Hughes and Matthew Stroman. CJ Petrin and Jake DeVoe are bowling together. Brandon Carlson and Tyler McLaren bowling together. Ben Porter and Chuck Klutz Jr. AJ Rice and Nate Garcia. Steven Jarvis and Tim Hyman. Cody Aldrich and Tony Resnick. Shea Bittenbender and Tim Barrett bowling together. They made a deep run and finished second one year. Robert Albrecht and Zach Wilkins bowling together. Austin Bolds is bowling with one Packy Hanrahan. David Arnall and Justin Nguyen bowling together. John Silurio and Ryan Stubblefield. Another team is Dimitri Cruz and Michael Holloman. Holloman coming off the big win at the Spa City Open that we streamed right here on Inside Bowling. All that coverage is archived. Chad Hankins is bowling with Mike McWethy. Colin Walsh bowling with John Ralston. Bottom right of your screen, I already introduced these players, but in case you're joining late, Aaron O'Brien, Eddie Bird, Leah Glazer, Mike Ormsby, and the players I just mentioned before that. Josh Imhoff, Speak of the Devil, is bowling with Corey Smith. Rick Justice bowling with Sam Swinford. Ryan Powers bowling with Victor Cortez. Carl Williams bowling with Mike Williams. And then, of course, who we have up on our screen, the Breedloves. Casey Murphy bowling with Tyler Corbin. Charlie Law, Elijah Cousins, and Danny Bradley and James Murphy. Also, if you'd like to support our channel here, you can head over to InsideBowling.com. We sell all bowling products now. Bowling balls, bags, shoes, accessories. If you've got something you want to gear up for the league season and you need to pick a few things up, head over to InsideBowling.com. We'd be more than happy to take care of you and get something shipped out to you right away. And then also, in addition to that, we do sell merch, t-shirts and hoodies. And as a matter of fact, we actually have a new pretty cool hoodie. It's a super lightweight, dry fit hoodie. And I'm going to say hello to you now and bring it into the booth. This is the new hoodie right here, as a matter of fact. I really like it. You can get it with different brands and stuff on here. I'm digging it. I really like it. I can just sit in here. Anyway, it's very lightweight. It's perfect for when you're like in between squads and maybe like you want to bowl, you got your name on the back, you want to go to lunch, throw one of these bad boys on. I love it. And you can save 15% on YouTube or with coupon code YouTube over at InsideBowling.com on all of our apparel that we offer. So glad you're with us here this morning. It's good to see you. This is the point in time where I start working on getting things looking better for us now that everything's up and running. We've got a great internet connection here, which is outstanding. Super happy about that. One other thing that I think is important to mention is here at this center, I believe this is still true. Let me just double check before I tell you that. Pum, 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 pum. Nope, never mind. I thought we had lane talk here, but maybe it's just a seasonal thing that they do here. Let's see what's happening in the chat room here. What's up, Justin? Casey Murphy is a legend. I agree with you, Nick. Thanks, Christopher, on the merch comment. Says they're good quality. Bought a couple last week. We make them all ourselves. They're all made to order. You get them in about a week. If you want something custom, you can email sales@insidebowling.com, and we can get to work on it for you. We can figure it out. I mean, we can print anything on anything, so just be more than happy to take care of you. As a matter of fact, many people don't know this, but our apparel business is actually growing outside of bowling, and we're doing some pretty unique things. We're making volleyball team jerseys. We're doing a lot of different stuff. So if you're listening to this broadcast and you need something for maybe your work, or just a special event, maybe you're having a bachelor party or a bachelorette party and you want like just specialized shirts made or whatever, please hit us up at sales@insidebowling.com. We are super affordable. We can help you design stuff, get things the way that you want it to be, and we only print on high quality garments. We do not print on your dollar t-shirts that are boxy, 100% cotton, shrink like crazy, don't feel good when you wear it. But yeah, we're growing that business a lot. We've printed for the St. Louis Blues. We're printing for a barbecue chain in St. Louis called Salt and Smoke. We're working with South City Sporting Goods in St. Louis, printing all their youth team jerseys and any sort of jerseys. It's going really well right now as I've relocated to St. Louis, and our bowling merch is great. And we love it, and I love having people out, seeing people wear it. But if you need anything at all, apparel-wise, sales@insidebowling.com is where you can go and take care of that. I would greatly appreciate your business. There's no doubt. And the thing with us is you're always going to get somebody on the other end. It's not like some of these other bigger companies, which are great, but you're going to get a response from us very quickly, and we're going to get to working on your project and get it to you in a timely fashion. We're stocking 500 or 600 t-shirts these days and about 100 hoodies. Yeah, it's I'll put it in here. Custom apparel sales at insidebowling.com. Appreciate that, everybody. Appreciate it. Sure do appreciate it. All right, you're going to watch me do something kind of weird. These scoreboards are going to go a little goofy up there, but that's just because I'm just trying to make it better. So give me just a second. Try to get it better for your viewing pleasure. Tell me, is that easier to read, everybody? Let me know in the chat room if that's better to read. And I'll get this other pair with the scoreboards all built out as well. But we do have some folks that are interested in what's going on over on that pair. So let's take a look-see. I'll start working on those scoreboards. Now, I'll leave it here for just a second. I got to go over and make a quick adjustment, and then I'll see what I can do here. All right, let's build this together. Let's do all this together. All right, let's see what I can do here. I need to duplicate this. I'm just going to talk out loud. I hope you guys don't mind. Okay, I think we're back. Everything okay now? Please let me know. Please let me know if everything's back. Thank you, Kristen. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just had a quick issue with a cord. A lot of bowling balls in here, a lot of people in here. So I think we're good for the rest of the way on that. My apologies. Anyway, I was working on building out a scoreboard before that slight catastrophe. So I'm going to work on that next for you guys. Glad you're with us. All right, everybody. I think I've got everything up and running here. So there's 27-8 with 29 and 30 with 35 through 38 in the bottom right. So we're good to go there. See, we've got some new players coming in. Let's take a look. Probably wouldn't hurt if I switched over to game number 2 as well, which is where we are, game number 2. By the way, is everything coming out of the left and the right channel properly? I just looked at this thing and it looks like it might be, I don't know. Looks kind of weird. Every time I pull this stuff out, man, some of this stuff is like 12 years old. I need to upgrade some things. I try to upgrade from time to time, but I need to get some more stuff. All right, let's take a look. 27 and 28. Looks like we're going to have Justin over here. Justin Wynn. Bowling with David Arnall, Austin Bolds, and Packy Hanrahan coming over. 27-28 should be. The next door, I think we're going to have, oh, wait a minute. They move right. They move left. Okay, excuse me. Left lane moves left. Right lane moves right. So my pairing sheets are not going to, to help me out a lot here on who's going where, but that's okay. How you doing? All right, let's just call it out what I'm seeing here. Victor Cortez and Ryan Powers, Dimitri Cruz, and Michael Holloman. So part of that was right. Looks like the Nguyen team, Amal and Nguyen, we're now going to have Imhoff and Smith next door. Josh Imhoff and Corey Smith. Bottom right of your screen, we're going to have Chapman and Lavery. Justice and Swinford. Already bowling is Jake DeVoe, CJ Petrin, Mike Williams, and Carl Williams. So that's what we have for you here in this game number 2 of 7 of A Squad qualifying. I'm supposed to also be getting standings emailed to me throughout the day, so I'll keep an eye out for that as well. By the way, everyone, I think we're all sports fans here, right? Something extraordinary is going to be happening this afternoon. And I highly encourage you to check it out while you're watching this, actually, because I'm going to be doing it while I'm streaming here, and maybe we can all have a watch party together. But this afternoon at I believe it's 3:30 Eastern, I highly suggest that you watch the gold medal Olympic men's basketball game live. It's one of those moments in sports history for our country that we may never see again. And what I mean by that is what you may never see in your lifetime or ever have the opportunity to see 3 of the best 10 NBA players in the history of the league of all time compete on the same team for our country for a gold medal. The Olympics in 4 years is headed to Los Angeles. LeBron James is going to be, I believe, 44 years old. Steph Curry will be 40 years old, or maybe 42, and Kevin Durant's going to be in his 40s as well. Those 3 may not play and may be too old to play in that Olympics. Durant, LeBron, and Curry, when it's all said and done and their careers are done, may be 3 of the top 10 players in all of NBA history. And for them to all be on the same team with something on the line after that huge comeback against Serbia, whether you're a basketball fan or not, it does not matter. If we're talking about Trivia Pursuit pop culture here, that is a game that you should watch today. It is must-watch television for the Olympics for our country here in the United States of America. And I think France is going to give them a handful. So Steph playing in his first Olympics ever, LeBron still getting things done, and then Kevin Durant having an unbelievable Olympics and has the most points ever in Olympics history in men's basketball. Those three on the court at the same time is must-watch television with something on the line. This is not an all-star game. This means something. Charles Barkley was quoted on the Dan Patrick Show that he said when he and Jordan and Bird and everybody with the Dream Team, when they were standing there, when they were playing the national anthem, it was the most meaningful thing that happened his entire life. He says you can't describe the feeling. So I highly encourage you watch that at 3:30 Eastern today. I'm going to keep my eye on it as well. Cannot recommend it enough. Scoring pace. Had a question about scoring pace this morning. Medium on this end. I've been seeing a kind of medium. Not seeing a ton of strikes out there. I need to dig into my email here and get myself ready to go here for the scores to start coming in. I'm looking forward to seeing the scores after the first game as much as all of you. Holloman looking as good as ever out there. Double 9 spare. And then a strike behind it. Let's take a look at how things are going there, and we're going to invert our stream. AJ Chapman, Sean Lavery, defending champions. Rick Justice, Sam Swinford, Jake DeVoe, CJ Petrin, Carl Williams, Mike Williams. By looking at the scoreboards, you can see where the players are at. Chapman minus 36, Lavery plus 56. Swinford minus 48, Rick Justice minus 1. Jake DeVoe plus 24, CJ Petrin plus 28. Mike Williams plus 50. I cannot see it from here. Carl Williams is plus 48, I believe. Again, it's a 4-to-1 pattern. In case you're curious about our squad times here, you're watching A squad qualifying now. B squad coming up at 1:30 today. C squad at 6. Cashers round tomorrow morning at 8:30 and 10:30 a.m. About that time, we will start our finals. Maybe a little bit after. Coming to join, the man, the myth, the legend, otherwise known as K. Will in some parts. Kevin Williams joins me. Hey, Kevin.
Hi, Flanagan.
How's it going today?
You know, at this point, when I run this tournament, I love seeing everybody, but I think my favorite part is just doing the commentary.
Yeah.
And I bowl in this event. It just feels good to come and watch bowling and talk about bowling. How are we looking this morning?
Oh, we're looking good.
Right.
Things are going well.
All right. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. First thing I have to ask you, because you're the numbers guy, and even though it's only game one, I'm sure you saw the scores from the sweeper last night, and you knew the scores last year were high, a lot higher than we would want it. But it's just how it goes sometimes. What kind of scoring pace do you think we're looking at this weekend?
Yeah, so I've been firing everything up here, and I haven't, I got scores going to be emailed over here shortly. I've been checking my inbox, so I didn't really get to see the scores throughout the bowling center, but, I think they're lower.
They are lower, that's for sure.
I mean, I see them quite a bit lower, actually. I went over the oil pattern with everybody, and, the 4-to-1. It doesn't look too hard on the graph,
Right.
by any means. Tim Barrett told me last night that he thought you had to go around the pattern, like you had to kind of slow hook and cover a lot of boards, and usually in this center you kind of want to go as direct as you can.
Right.
But that was just one man's opinion.
Yep. I think my opinion on it is where last year there was such a defined shim in the middle that you could kind of do the quote-unquote wrong thing, throw the wrong ball, and still find a way to shoot 230. Where this year, if you are doing the wrong thing, you will not bowl a decent game. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have 180, 160, 190. You're not going to luck into 230, 220 ball reaction if you're doing the wrong thing, where it's a lot more matchup-based now, which is how you want bowling, right? You want to take out some of the luck, quote-unquote factor, where it's like you got to kind of know the ball shapes. You got to make a little bit of a shot. I think you can get there from any way you want based off your own trick. Like Tim said he could hook it. Michael Holloman won the sweeper last night, super hooking it. But I also saw a lot of guys that threw it extremely hard and extremely straight and made it work as well. It's just match up to your game, which is what you want to see in a scoring pace. So I think the scoring pace is going to be fair, not super high, but they're not going to be so low that people just feel like they got their head kicked in.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not going to be.
But I say that, and I see a couple teams that have 160, 180, 150, 160. So
I think I welcome this, honestly.
I mean, I would agree. I think this is where you see the better bowlers kind of figure it out a little quicker. And you just take away that factor of like, oh man, this guy barely hits the head pin, but he keeps striking. But they hook a lot more than they have the last couple of years. You're going to see guys off in the gutter and stuff by the end of this block, which we haven't seen in a long time in this event, actually. I think the first year we kind of got there, game 7, where guys had to loft it. But usually there's been enough oil in the middle part of the lane, guys can stay around the track a lot longer. But you see, like, A.J. Chapman just threw a shot on 35, and he's already sliding at 36, 37, and it's frame 6 of game 2. So they're hooking. We're going to see some guys have to do some tricks to make it work the last 2. I think scores will drop a good amount the last 2, and anyone that can find a way to shoot 440 as a team will do just fine. But I guess we won't know until we get there. But that's just my early prediction of how these scores are going to look going throughout the day.
Well, speaking of scores, I think I can display them.
You got them in. Ooh.
All right, Jarvis and Hyman, 505, 267 for Jarvis, 238 for Hyman. Bittenbender and Barrett, 279 for Barrett, 504 for that team. Colin Walsh and John Ralston, 487, along with A.J. Rice and Nate Garcia. Robert Albrecht and Zach Wilkins, 480. Wilkins with 279, no surprise there. Williams and Williams, who we have bowling right here, 248, 222 for 470. Casey Murphy and Tyler Corbin also with 470. That's 6th. Junior Hughes and Matthew Stroman, 467. CJ Petrin and Jake DeVoe also bowling here at 449. Aaron O'Brien and Eddie Bird had 448. O'Brien with 240, Eddie Bird with 208. David Arnell, 182. Justin Nguyen, 243 for 425. Chapman and Lavery, 419 with Lavery bowling 255. Dimitri Cruz, 236. Michael Hallman, only 178 the first game, 414 for those two. Porter and Klutz, 14th at 403. And Aldrich and Resnick also plus 402 was their total, just plus 2. 15 teams plus out of the 26 bowling here this morning.
Which, I don't know the scores from last year, but I don't think anyone was minus last year after 1. If maybe one team, so. But again, the good guys figured it out early. But that's how it always is on tournaments like this, right? The fresh is guys have 10 minutes of practice on their starting pair. You get to kind of figure it out. You get to kind of create a little bit of shim on your pair and carve them up however you would like. But as you move to the next pairs and who you're crossing and stuff like that, that'll bring the scores down. As Sean with just a spare shooting clinic, picking up the 3-4-10. Defending champs, Sean and AJ. Michael starts with 170.
Yeah, he's doing better this game, though.
It's his low game by like 100 compared to last night. Shot 1030 to win the sweeper for 4 games. Let's see what he's doing now, because last night he was super hooking them. Today he's throwing them hard.
So, Kevin, you're living in California now, right?
Yep, Sacramento.
And everything's going well there for you?
Yeah. Gorgeous part of the state. Love it. Lots to do. It's always sunny. It's always hot. There's an NBA team 10 minutes from my house.
How often do you get to come back here?
Usually like once or twice a year. Really just twice this year, and it's just for both events. The tour stop here and then our event. That's about it, really. Josh Imhoff, 10 back. I think straighter is greater early on. Just kind of looking around and seeing the guys that bowled pretty well. I think Zach was throwing a purple, so that's the only way you could really allow him to play straighter, because he has high rev rate, a little bit lower ball speed. I think Michael, I'm going to assume he tried to do what he did last night and didn't bowl a lot. Justin had the front 7 the first game, a.k.a. Noodle, who just tripped a 6-pin. And he's throwing a urethane ball around 7-8.
Do you know how many teams we have on each squad here?
I think we have 30 on the next squad, and then like 10 on the last one. It's just a ballpark.
But people can re-enter if they want?
Yep. Can re-enter. We usually always get like 25, 30 re-entries because it's 10,000 up top no matter how many people show up. So those guys that might be around the number, they're like, it's worth paying another $250 a guy at a chance for 10 grand.
We have 26 this morning, is that right?
Yeah.
I think so. 26. Okay.
Should be around 70 teams.
Do you know what the collection was last night?
For the Calcutta?
Yeah.
28,000.
How many get paid in that thing?
12.
12.
I have that prize fund. We won't know the other prize fund until we know exactly. But there's the Calcutta.
8,000, 4,000, 3,000, 1,500, and 1,000. Okay.
Yep.
Hello to Scott, Brian, Bill, everybody. Thanks for letting me know about the audio there. I had it just coming out of one side, I guess, to start. Every time I fire this stuff up, man, it all moves around, shifts around.
Yeah, right.
The first 2 games of Inside Bowling broadcasts are just just happy to be on the air.
Right.
I mean, when you have 21 games in one day,
Yeah.
it's okay.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I love coming here. I told Kim last night, I said, hey, I love coming here because everybody's so nice. I feel so comfortable. I know where everything is.
Yep.
I don't have to ask where anything is. CT's great. Steve's great. The rest of the staff is just fantastic.
Yeah, so I was talking with CT. You know, we've changed throughout the years. Were you here for year 1? I can't remember. Did we get you year 1?
I don't think so.
Not year 1, but then the rest.
Yeah, the
you've been here,
rest.
this is 3 years now.
Is it? I don't even know.
I thought we got you for year 1.
I'm gonna go find out right now.
Anyways, you know, the first year we ran it, which, as you know, you've ran many events with Inside Bowling Open and then holiday doubles, things like that. Year 1 is always, you never really know to get it off the ground. And that's when we decided, you know, that's when I kind of was getting my name out there a little more. So I was like, I think I can draw people in just because I know so many bowlers at this point. And year 1, we did it in the summer. And I wanted to, like I always say, I want a jam-packed weekend. I don't want this just to be a weekend for only elite bowlers that try to bowl for a living on the weekends.
2021 was the first year I came.
So that's 21, 2, 3. So you've been here every year. So you were here. So for the people that don't know, we ran a coaching clinic. Friday I had Tommy Jones, Kyle Troop, and Packy Hammerhand and myself run 2 sessions of a coaching clinic so that way some of the locals could get to learn how to bowl a little bit differently from some of their favorite pros, have some people travel in. And then we have a sweeper on Friday night, which always does well. It had 115 people or whatever it was. And then we have this on Saturday and Sunday. Well, we added a youth event as well on Sunday. So after we have our cashers round and we get into match play, the youth will get to come in and they'll bowl on the low end on the same pattern we do. So I want to make it a weekend where families can come in, they can bring their kids to bowl, they can bring them to coaching clinics, they can spectate. You got the elite bowlers, so everyone has something going on. We also ran a fundraiser golf tournament Thursday morning. Just because there's enough tournaments going on out there, I want to separate myself. And that's why we did it in the summer. And then for 2 years, we had to go away from the summer because the PBA moved the summer swing. And obviously, I was out there for that. So now that we're back in the summer and we have the teams we have, it gets to the point where I'm like, why don't we have more teams? I feel like, not because I run it, but I just feel like what we offer, there's no reason we shouldn't be close to full, at least 100 teams, and we have 70 every year. And the only big outlier I have is I think it's hard to get to Springfield, Missouri because we don't have a huge airport.
That's true.
If you do fly to a big airport, you got to drive a couple hours because we're 3 hours away from St. Louis. So from your perspective, what do you think the difference is that gets us back to 100 teams? Because still, we have 70 teams. We're going to get re-entries, and it'll be just fine. But how do we fill this thing up?
How do we fill it up?
Because, you never please everyone.
Oh, that's a good question.
And the scoring pace is one thing. Last year was a little too high, but also a lot of people like to bowl on the higher scoring pace, And these scores will be better. But what kind of separates having a full tournament all the time?
So I know you said summer. Josh Imhoff just did the Spa City Shootout.
Yep.
And, it was his first event. And he got right at about 100 entries. What an interesting conversion there for Michael Holloman, by the way. Folks, you should rewind and check that out. I might replay it here in a bit. But to answer your question, he was really disappointed. He thought he would have more. He had more signed up.
Yep.
But even though it's good for people that bowl all the time being in July, there are a lot of people that just don't bowl as much in the summer.
Oh, I agree.
You know what I mean? I think your turnout's amazing.
Yeah.
Personally.
For the summer.
Yeah, I really do. I think it's still gaining momentum, honestly. I felt more buzz about it this year than I have any other year. Mm-hmm. Seriously. But what you could do to possibly fill it up, I mean, look, there was an event, a trios event in Arkansas, the PBA, PWBA, and PBA 50, and they struggled getting some entries in that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know the reasons of that.
Yeah. Right, but still, I mean.
I think obviously it's multiple things, right? Because when you look at, we have 70 teams. That's still good. We have about 150 bowlers here bowling on the weekend and re-entries, whatever. But I know that it's like, okay, why did these two teams not come? Well, they saw the scoring pace last year. They don't like bowling on the score pace. Okay, well, there's an event in Coldwater, so there's a couple teams that are going to go to that. And so I know that there's the little things like that.
Well, the PBA 50 tour is cruising along, too.
Yeah.
And you might have got a Chris Barnes. You might have got a Tom Hess if it was not when that PBA 50 tour is going on.
Right.
Right?
And I agree. I know that people in the summer, they want to go enjoy the sunshine.
Mike Ornsby's here, and
yeah.
Justin Bone would be here with Parker, or you know what I mean? Just stuff like that.
Yeah, little teams that add up. But, the last 2 years we've ran it in October, you know, when people start getting back in the swing of bowling, and we had about the same numbers.
That's true. That's true. I got a funny story for you regarding this year's event. So you've been really busy. You've had a lot of stuff going on, and I think you reached out to me, or I missed a call from you or something.
I reached out to you way later than I should have because I thought we reached out to you.
And then I think I called back or text back, or you might have said, "Hey man, you got a second?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do tomorrow," and then we just never hooked up. And then I saw this tournament change the date, right?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't talk to me ahead of time, which is no big deal. Dude, stuff happens.
Yeah.
But this weekend, okay, my favorite band is Blink-182. Kim had purchased tickets for us to go to Blink-182 tonight in St. Louis. Okay.
Okay.
So when this got changed, I said to Kim, I said, "Hey, I can't go to Blink now." And she's like, "I'm never buying concert tickets for us ever again because this is the third time I've canceled on her because of some sort of conflict." Okay.
Oh no.
Well, guess what happened 2 days ago?
What?
Blink-182 canceled the concert.
Oh, fate. Fate. There was only one place you were going to be, Mike, and that is here with us in Springfield.
And just so you know, it wasn't even a thought in my mind to not come here and go to my concert. I'm just you have my 100% commitment to come here.
Well, we appreciate that.
I'm here. I will be here.
We appreciate that.
No matter what band is playing where.
You know what's funny is I don't really listen to Blink-182, and I say I don't listen to them, but I've been to a Blink-182 concert, and it was here in Springfield.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, it was just like, hey, we're probably going to know like 2 songs, but let's just go. It'll be fun. So a bunch of my friends who none of us listen to Blink-182 just showed up to a concert and had a good time. It was a blast. But yeah, there's only one place you're going to be here, and that was
Yeah, right here.
right here.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that.
I love being here.
We appreciate that greatly. I think the score is going to be much lower than people think.
I do too.
You know, like you said earlier, you're like in a doubles tournament, it already is. Even when they're super easy, it's hard to have two guys striking at the same time. And I look and I see like Steve Jarvis. I think he has 490. His partner 390. You know, 450 partner 320, 390, 460. So to have two guys matching up at the same time is going to be a little trickier.
There's something this year I think you're going to need that maybe you haven't needed in years past.
And what is that?
A spare game.
Damn it, I don't have one of those anymore. A spare game, huh?
I do.
I would agree.
I mean, I think that could really separate folks.
I would agree. Yeah, you see a lot more. You're seeing a lot more splits and stuff up there. I think. And by the way, just so everyone knows, you know, I don't pick the pattern. Year one, I thought of a format. I told CT, and I said, this is kind of my opinion on how an event should be run, but I don't want to be the tournament director because I want to bowl it. So I don't want anyone to think that I tried to finagle my way to win, which, by the way, if anyone thought that, it's so hard to do that. But I don't pick the pattern, but if I had to choose a scoring pace, I think this is going to be very close to what I'd like to see. Team to average 220, mid-220s to make match play, or to get into the cashers round and make match play. I think that's very reasonable.
Well, I think you're going to get a bunch of re-entries with the pace that we're going to have here.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people don't want to re-enter when the scores are astronomical.
Because they just don't think they can get there.
Yeah, they're just like, man. Oh,
well, it's
gosh.
easier. It's easier to count like, okay, I missed a couple spares. That's 60 pins. I threw a couple bad shots. That's 100 pins. That's all we need to get back into it. Instead of being like, I have to average 250.
Or how about if I just switched to that ball 2 games sooner, I'd average 230.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I agree.
It's a lot of little things like that. Because it's not hard to get to the pocket.
Right. We say that, and I mean, there's a bucket up there.
I know.
3-6-10 just
yeah.
got picked up, and he's fist pumping, so he clearly has missed one of those. Just assuming there. A washout. I think they're a little tricky. AJ Rice just bucketed.
That tells me the pattern's stretching and playing a little bit longer.
We're going to see some urethane go down the lane, which you don't really see. Well, we never see in this event.
Zach Wilkins is 100 and whatever that says, 130 over.
Yeah, and he's sliding
279 the first
38.
game.
9-pin. Zach's been striking all year long.
He has just been.
Made the switch over to hammer, and
he's just awesome. He's doing so good.
striked on tour, strikes on every house shot thing he bowls. Every week I see I don't even look at Facebook that much, and it's like, congrats, Zach, 850, 300. It's like, dude, he shoots an arm score every day. He shot 300 last night in the sweeper. Because when he went for the Calcutta, and I was hosting the Calcutta, when I said Zach Wilkins, no one was really bidding at first. And I said, hey, Zach, didn't you shoot 300 last night? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And their team was stuck at $300. And I was like, $300, just like the score he bowled for one game last night, 300.
I'm going to bounce out of here, head over to these other pairs, and also bring in our lane pattern again. If you're just joining us here, here is our lane pattern. Again, 43 feet in length, almost 28 milliliters of oil.
Doesn't feel like that.
4.3 to 1
So
ratio.
I'd like to think that I know this center pretty well. I think I
would say.
I figured out how to strike here a time or two. I practiced here a billion times over the last 10 years before I moved out of here.
I'm still a little upset that Cooley snapped you off.
Oh, a little upset? That's going to not haunt me because, you know, mom ain't raised no bitch. But, yeah, that will sting for a long time. But so a 4-to-1 pattern will not play true here. And I say that because Enterprise's track is just very defined in a good way, though. In every ball seems to get in the roll at the right part of the lane. Now, that doesn't mean you're always going to strike whatever, but there's some centers where you go and it's like, I can't throw cleaner stuff. It doesn't work. I can't throw early stuff. You can throw a lot of bowling balls here, and it always finds a way to get into that roll phase around 30, 35 feet, and that's naturally going to make patterns easier. So 4-to-1 at a lot of centers would be a little bit lower scoring than what these might be. So I would say it's going to play more like 6 or 7-to-1, which is a lot more blended of a pattern overall. So when you put out a pattern like 4-1 and it might scare some people away, it just doesn't play like that here at Enterprise. I would say it's more like a 7-1. But I think these are going to get tricky. I think these are going to get tricky. So the team in front of us, Colin and John right here, bowling on 35 and 6. They're at 420 and 430 over. But
Well,
game one, they had 240, 240, I think.
Well, they're 20 and 30 over.
Yeah. And game one, they had, well, I guess we can look at the scores. I think
Yeah.
then they bowled like 230, 240. Yeah, they had 487. So they go to game two pair where, you know, depending on who they cross, they bowled minus. So I think, which this center isn't super pair to pair. You know, you go to some centers where it's like the low bay is way worse than the high. There's not that many bad pairs here. 21 and 2 is a pair that's not great. There might be a pair or two down on the low end, but overall, this center, they're all pretty similar to the point where you're going to bowl well. 39 and 40, 40 hooks about a mile more, but it's not a hard pair. But I think now that they're a little trickier, it's going to be a little bit more pair to pair today. Just depending on who started on a pair, who's crossed at a pair, the rev rates. Mike Ormsby. Mike bowled with Russo super last minute last year, right? He
Yep.
flew in like the night of.
He did, and
Friday night.
he's back for more. He's bowling with Leia Glazer.
But he didn't have to fly in on Friday. They signed up pretty early on. Not a last minute.
Now that
decision.
speaks to this event. For Mike to come all the way down from New York,
Yeah.
New Jersey area
Yep.
to bowl, to come all the way here to bowl it again.
And they didn't. I don't remember how well they did, but I know they weren't like.
They
top,
did well. Yeah.
Were they top like 8?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They made match play?
Yeah, they
I was
did
going to
well.
say, you know, last minute decision comes out here, his expenses are a little bit more than everyone else's. If he wins the event, he's like, well, I got to come back. But the fact that he didn't like win the event, he came back, love to see it. We've had some people from the East Coast come back, but I guess they have a big event going on at Battle Bowl or whatever it is, some
Yeah.
UBA event.
Yeah.
So some of the East Coast guys didn't come.
Where's Russo this year?
I don't know where he is, honestly. Is the women have a tour event? He might be watching
Yeah.
his wife?
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Probably that. That'd be my guess.
I was telling somebody the other day, somebody was saying, hey, Mike, why don't you bring back the IB Open, or why aren't you doing more events? You're moving back to St. Louis, all that stuff. You know, you live in St. Louis now. And I'm like, the tournament landscape right now is so much different than it was in 2011.
I agree.
There's a women's tour now. There wasn't in 2011.
Yep.
And I had a lot of ladies come and bowl my
Yeah, you
IB
did.
Open. We had the GOAT, Liz Johnson there.
Angie Ramirez knocked me out of the stepladder one year. I finished 6th.
Angie Ramirez. We had Jody Westner always came and bowled.
Yep.
Aaron McCarthy
You
bowled.
had everybody bowl.
Yeah, it was really.
I missed that event.
It was really nice.
I missed that event.
But nowadays, there's just too much going on. The letter organizations, USBC, BPAA, PBA, PWBA, have done a very nice job of creating more events to be able to bowl. And I think the PBA regional program has gotten a lot stronger.
Yeah.
They've done a nice job. So these sorts of tournaments aren't necessary anymore for me to run or put together. If all of a sudden a bunch of tournaments were missing again and I felt like we needed it, I would probably get back to the drawing board
Right.
and get after it again.
You know why I missed the Ivy Open? Well, there's a couple reasons, but the main reason was you always put out a pattern that just was my A game. You put out a bunch of oil, but you had to stay to the gutter, so I could
Yeah.
just throw it as slow as I want around 8, 9, 10. And that's when I wasn't very good, but I always bowled good at the IB Open.
I
was leading at one point. And
I
was
miss designing
beating
those
Bill
patterns.
O'Neill. I was like, yeah, no one knew who Kevin Williams was, and I shot 300, 300, 268 in the Cashews round to take over the lead briefly over Bill O'Neill, and no one knew who Kevin was.
Del Ballard made a deep run one year. I mean, there was just a lot of cool stuff that happened in there, and all that's archived on our channel.
You had bowling balls with the entries, so I felt like you got
Yep.
a lot of people that might not bowl a $10,000 event,
Yeah.
but they wanted for the experience. They got a ball out of it.
And then from a commentator standpoint, I brought in Bo Burton one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
I had Dave Lamont, Randy Peterson and I, Jason Couch and I. I mean,
That was one of my favorite events.
And then Jeff Carter and Dennis Hacker anchoring down the booth for so many years during, oh my God. Hey, we got scores after 2 here. Take a look at this. Albrecht and Wilkins, your tournament leaders at plus, well, let's see. I'm going to have to figure this out. They are 975 is their total. So that would be 175 over. Zach has started with 279, 259. Bittenbender and Barrett second. They had 504 and then 425. AJ Rice and Nate Garcia 487 and 439. They're third. Aaron O'Brien and Eddie Bird. The Birdman came back nice in game 2 with 255. Bowling that PBA 50 tour now.
PBA 50.
448 and 465 for their first 2 games. Junior Hughes and Matthew Stroman, 467 and 442 to start. Chapman and Lavery, 419 and bounce back here with 474 in game number 2. Casey Murphy and Tyler Corbin, 470 and 420. They're currently 7th. Stephen Jarvis, as you mentioned, with Tim Hyman, bowled 505 the first game. As you saw, 379 the next game. Colin Walsh and John Ralston, 487 and 369. Petrin and DeVoe, 449 and 402. Cruz and Holloman, 414 and 429. Aldrich and Resnick, 402 and 440. Carlson and McLaren, 391 and 437. Carl Williams and Mike Williams, 470 and 357. Austin Bolts, Packy Hanrahan, 398 and 428.
So do you see a little bit of a trend there? It's not all the teams, but you see 5-0, 420, 5-0, 420, 470, 410. Like making that switch to someone else's starting pair, you're not going to quite see the same ball reaction. I like the scoring pace so far, I'm going to say. If I look at 5th, they're at about 225 a guy.
Yeah, 909.
Yep, 100 over.
So, yeah.
450 a game. I think that's a respectable scoring pace.
Much lower. Hey, why so many commercials, Mike? I don't know. This thing does it on its own. I don't know. I don't know
it
how
plays
many.
ads during the.
Yeah, it just pops them up here and there. Like,
if you have premium, you won't get those.
yeah, there are. That is true. On this particular network, when you go in and you set up the live stream, you can do aggressive, balanced, or light. I think it is.
Oh, you can set that.
Yeah, and
for
I have
live
it. I have mine set at light ads. Like, we still got to get some ads in there, but I don't have it on aggressive by any means.
Uh-huh.
Seriously.
Okay. I actually didn't know that you could change, like, how many ads.
Yeah.
The greedy people have it, like, every 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I don't. Let me know, Gus, if you're watching throughout the day, just shoot a message in the chat, say, just got an ad, and I'm curious how often it is. I certainly don't want it to be an experience that is unwatchable because of ads.
We have a huge score going on right in front of us in 33 and 34. Michael Holloman has the front 7. Dimitri Cruz has 3-baggers, spare 3-bagger. And then the teams they're bowling with have 250, 280 left. So I'm going to say 33 and 4, which, by the way, I already knew this, is a good pair. It usually always is a good pair. Actually, I say that last year, that was the bad pair, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I remember last year saying that you kind of spotted early on that was not a great pair, but usually 33 and 4 is a really good pair.
This center has one of the best internet feeds in the country now. Did you know
Really?
that? Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Speeds are ridiculous here.
About an hour ago, I told CT that because they just recently switched what their internet is, and I said ever since you guys switched, the Wi-Fi is awful. That's what I said. But it's probably the guest Wi-Fi's that aren't great. Are you on the guest, or did they connect you to like the?
Oh, I'm
work
hardwired
one?
into the switch.
Okay.
Yeah, I never live stream wirelessly.
Well, that makes sense.
I just can't risk it.
Yeah. I agree.
But it's great to be back here, man. Give a shout out to our sponsors again: Columbia 300, Brunswick and Track, Springfield Coring and Cutting, Been Crazy, Classic Yard, and Enterprise Park Lanes, home of the Greater Ozark Open Tournament. Kicking it here with Kevin Williams. Let's talk about you this year. Who are you bowling with, and when are you bowling?
I'm bowling with Anthony Lavery, and we're bowling at 2 p.m. I've bowled with someone different almost every year, and the first couple of years, not to talk down on the people I bowled with, but I never really want to bowl with anyone extremely good and make it look bad if I were to bowl really well, because I bowl well in this center usually. But now that I'm traveling and stuff, I do want to try to win, because now I'm paying a lot more to be here, which my house was 2 minutes away from here when I lived in Springfield. But I never really thought about getting a partner. I don't know why. And then I was like, oh, I need to get a partner. Like, who am I going to get? I bet a lot of people already have their partners. And I saw on the roster that Anthony didn't have a partner yet. So I said, do you have a partner? Do you want to bowl? He's like, absolutely. So that's how that transpired, which I've bowled with Sean a lot, his brother. We used to bowl snowman doubles together. We've won snowman doubles together. But I've actually never bowled with Anthony, so I'm looking forward to it. He bowled well last night, and I'm looking forward to it.
Beautiful.
So that's who I'm bowling with. I bowled with Casey Murphy the 2 years prior to that, and he's bowling with Tyler Corbin this year.
I kind of feel like one year you and Casey are going to hook up and bowl again.
You know, typically I don't switch up my doubles partners. Like when I first started like really bowling for a living and bowling every weekend, I bowl with the same 2 people. I bowl with me and Michael Hallman bowled everything together for about 7 years. We bowled holiday doubles every year. We never missed match play, and I'm just big on like bowling with the same guys, building that team chemistry up. But also I do like bowling new people.
It's kind of like a new relationship.
Yeah, it is. But I've been good friends with Anthony for a long time, so if I'm bowling like crap, he's not going to be afraid to tell me, hey, quit bowling like crap. Or sometimes when you bowl with someone new, you don't know how much you can kind of help them out on the lanes and whatever the case, and say, hey, like, I don't think that's right. I know that if I'm doing something wrong, Anthony will be like, hey, idiot, do this.
Left side of your screen, 33 and 34. We're talking about these big games being bowled right now, and we're gonna be able to get a glimpse of it here on lane 34. Left side of your screen is gonna be Michael Holloman. He's gonna be up in the 9th frame. He's got the front 8.
His partner has 279 left and already bowled in the 9th, so they have 579 left.
Yep, Dimitri Cruz.
And Michael's at 392 after 2, so 300 is gonna get him right back on pace.
I think I can actually do a little bonus coverage here.
Okay.
Sort of.
We like bonus coverage.
I didn't.
Right that he said that. You better not cloud him.
You know I did.
Oh, he did. Oh, he got the 8 out. He got the 8 out.
I also forgot to close off this area over here. I got bowlers walking through here like crazy. There's a high risk of having a catastrophe up here in the booth.
We don't want that. Colin and John on 35 and 6 after their 490 start. Struggling a little bit more. John open, strike, open, double. He's gonna have to work to bowl a decent game. Colin's got 250 left though. One of my favorite things about running an event or hosting an event is I love seeing a bowler I've never seen before. I love seeing brand new faces. Like, where are you from? How'd you hear about us? Thanks for coming.
There's Dimitri Cruz working on 79.
10 back. Dimitri Cruz last year overslept in the cashier's round. And so I gave him a little bit of crap last night.
You're not letting them live that down.
I have to, you know. I like Dimitri, so if I like you, I got to give you a little crap every once in a while. Oh my gosh, Jake is hooking him. You guys can't quite see the scores, but Jake is going to bowl 2-0. Dimitri has the first one in the 10th. He's got 279 left, and he's going to be the low on his team potentially because Michael has all of them. And Michael won the sweeper last night, but he's -8 after 2. So I'm going to say they're a little bit different than last night, just considering Michael's about 190 off of the pace after 2 than he was last night.
Dimitri still got it going.
Wait.
Jared in the chat says, I haven't gotten a single ad. Appreciate that. Maybe Gus just keeps refreshing, and every time it
Right.
refreshes, it does do an ad.
Good shot by CJ.
Yeah.
First one in 10. He's got 280 left. So 33 and 34 is going to be a high scoring pace. Oh, little
Nice
messenger.
little, yeah, a little messy.
Little AM1.
Yep.
All right, Michael has the front 9. You think he bowls 300?
No.
I think he's going to 8-pin. I don't know when.
I think he's going to go 288, actually.
288.
Yeah, really weird score to call out there. He bowled
Well, he could go like 9 miss.
178, 214 his first 2 games.
I think if he misses, he's going to 8-pin because that's usually the only time he misses because his ball hooks so much down. As CJ gets the second one, he's going to bowl 280 if he gets the fill ball, and he's just looking directly into my. Oh, he gave me a wave. Hi, pal. They showed up last night in. If anyone knows who CJ is, and Eric Jones and Jake, they showed up in their little suits last night. Their little $30 suits that they have, and CJ's is all orange, an orange suit. Is it talking crap, or was it just saying that you guys were wearing suits? The suit boys.
Michael gets the front 10.
The big suit boys. I'm plugging you in. I don't know what you guys call yourselves. What do you call yourselves? What do you guys call yourselves? Don't you have like a little nickname for you? The Goon Squad? Hate that. Stupid. Drop it now. Be the suit boys.
Think so?
What a bold statement. I think I would have bowled 300.
Yeah.
You would have missed in the second frame. And then struck out for 280, like CJ did.
So
All
here's Solomon, front 11
Front 10.
possibility here. Yeah, he's got 10.
8-pin. Oh!
He's going to bowl 300, make us both look like idiots.
Ho-hum. Here comes 300, number 300 for Michael Holloman.
He's throwing reactive.
Yes, he is.
I'm trying to figure out what he's throwing. Let's see.
Well, he's a free agent, so he's throwing everything.
Yep, this thing is like, I don't know, it looks blue and has a little
Looks
purple
like an Axiom.
Might be.
Whatever he's throwing, it's a little bit earlier, smoother, because for him to get his ball to not hook as much down lane, that's what he's got to have to throw.
This whole free agent thing is kind of becoming like a trend.
Well, here's my take on that. If you're not bowling on tour to where you get
300.
when you get those extra resources of like having ball reps and having, if you get paid or a bigger budget or whatever the case, if you're not one of those bowlers, why would you not just throw all the best balls on the market?
Yeah, on the PBA 50 tour right now, Mika Koivuniemi and John Janowitz are not with any ball companies.
Yeah.
And they bowled for the title this week.
Yeah. Well, they also could get any ball they want from any company they want
Right.
at any time.
Right.
But yeah, why would you not? I mean, unless you're getting paid a good amount or whatever the case, just throw all the
Right.
best balls.
And that was what Mika said. He says, for the amount of money the companies were willing to pay me, it's just better for me just to be a free agent and throw everything.
And also, guys that are bowling on the weekends and stuff, think about, most of them are going to know guys that can at least get balls at cost from a distributor nonetheless. If you have one good weekend, you can pay for a year's worth of arsenals, you know. If Michael Holloman wins this weekend for $18,000 to split with his partner, that pays for bowling balls for the next couple years, you know. It's all an investment. Well, John Ralston is the epitome of all or nothing right now. He's got open, open, strike, open, double, open, double. But his partner can bail him out with 259, which I feel like 440 is not a pretty good score. It's not going to hurt you. Coming to 37-8, we have Austin Bolts, Packy Hanrahan, and then Michael and Dimitri, who we just saw bowl a lot.
Folks, also, this is kind of the run here for Inside Bowling. I've got back-to-back weekends of streams. Next weekend, join me in Dubuque, Iowa. I'm returning to the 11thframe.com Open.
Yeah.
Be up there streaming that one at beautiful Cherry Lanes in Dubuque.
Yeah.
Jeff Riggles event. It'll be great to see Riggs.
I've never bowled that event. Always falls on a bad weekend for me, and it's just far enough away where sometimes it just never made sense when I lived here.
Dubuque's hard to get to also.
Now it really is far away from me.
I'm anxious to go there because on Sunday they use a format I created for Jeff called the Flanagan format.
Okay, you named it the Flanagan format.
That's what they call it, yeah.
Oh,
the Flanagan. Yeah, they did. I came up with the format. He just said this is the Flanagan format, and then I've never streamed the Flanagan format.
What is the format?
So when you make it to Sunday, all the players that make it, let's say 40 players make it. If you bowl the highest game in the building, you get 40 bonus pins. If you are the lowest game in the building, you get 1 bonus pin.
Are they always on that, or is that a new thing this year?
No, they've done it. They've done it after year 1.
And you
I
said
streamed
you've never
year 1.
streamed it. Oh,
no, I streamed year 1, but they didn't use that format. Jeff, after that year, was like, "Hey, what do you think we could do? You know, to maybe appeal to some more people and stuff like that? Would you make any changes?" And I'm like, there's these summer leagues where everybody bowls everybody and you get 40.
Yeah.
I'm like, it'd be really cool if when it came to Sunday, if you could do that.
Yeah.
And then Joe and Joe Engelkiss and his family, they put together a nice spreadsheet. Jennifer, I think, did it to where when they put all the scores in, it calculates everything and it's all written and everything. And, so you can make up a ton of score on Sunday.
Yeah, I like that.
They've had people go from like 32nd or something to the 2 seed.
I mean, it's cool. You get rewarded for when you have a couple of huge games versus anyone else. So if you hit a good pair or a bad pair or whatever, you capitalize on it.
And it also means you can't have that low game.
Yeah. Because you get 1 pin.
Yeah.
If you're obviously the lowest.
It compounds it, yeah.
I mean, it just rewards you for good bowling. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that format.
And also, when you have 30 bonus pins, and sometimes, a double and a 10th is the difference between 30. You could bowl 268 and not get any bonus pins.
Well, any bonus, any bonus pin matters.
But in this particular case, if you bowl 268, you're not getting 0.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I like about it the most.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't stand it when 2 guys bowl each other and both guys need the game, and some guy bowls 250, second high in the building, and doesn't get 30 bonus for it.
Well,
that sucks.
We've done an event a little bit similar to that one time on tour, Sean Rash's event in Illinois. We did like a cross where left goes left, right goes right, and you got bonus pins for who you beat on your pair. So the high on the pair got at 30, the second high 20, the third got 10, and then whoever was low on the pair got 0. So you were rewarded for when you hit a pair, and if you were high on your pair, you got some pins, which is cool.
My Life and Chase here, or Chess in the chat here, says, I'm getting ready to bowl today myself, just singles, recreational, not for money, but fun and enjoyment. My league starts 9/21, and I'm teamed up with some great friends of mine. That all in itself is what it is all about.
For sure, 100%.
That is what it's all about.
100%. It's the love of the game. Michael throws a huge messenger to have 13 in a row now. He might have bowled more the game before, but
just moved into game number 4 here.
Packy Hammerhand, super hooking him. Strike. Packy's -9 after 3. His partner,
Austin's
+7.
starting to turn it on, yeah. Do you think Packy and Austin would re-enter?
Yeah. Well, I already know because we said it last night.
Oh, okay.
Because he wasn't bowling very good in the sweeper, and then he said something. And he's like, yeah, if we bowl bad, we'll just go home. I was like, you're not going to re-enter? He's like, we will, but after we re-enter one more time, we would just go home. When you're a good bowler like that, you have to re-enter. What's $250 to try to win 10 grand?
Right. Yep.
You just show up to bowl one squad and leave. He bowls for a living. They're also the type of team that could just bowl a huge back four and not even have to re-enter, which is what I'm going to predict they're probably going to do.
So just to kind of take everybody around here, we've got Austin and Packy, as we mentioned, Dimitri and Michael. We got Nguyen and Arnal coming over, Bittenbender and Barrett coming over to lanes 35 and 36. And just to make things easier on myself here, I'll tell you who we've got coming over here. We've got Chapman and Lavery, Carlson and McLaren, Jake DeVoe and CJ Petrin, AJ Rice and Nate Garcia. Just getting started here.
And 1 on 31.
And I don't love the cell phone camera in our camera range. I don't mind people that do the live streaming and stuff or that record the bowling.
Who is it that's live streaming?
But to put that on the table right there, it's got to be Nate, right?
I don't know. Is it AJ? Nate? I don't know. I don't know who it is.
It's just a little distracting.
It's either Nate or AJ because we just saw CJ and Jake and they didn't have it.
Yeah, it's got to be Nate. I know he and Elise are doing a lot of stuff these days, so
yeah.
Which I applaud them and I encourage them to
that's
do
why
that.
That's why I was curious if it was AJ because Nate and them usually vlog, but can't vlog if he's live streaming.
Yeah, so I'm totally on board with them, wanting to do content, but you can just set it back on a table a little bit further back so it's not in our camera shot.
Well, and
maybe I'll go put a camera right in front of theirs.
They have to film through your camera?
I'm actually going to go down and give Nate trouble about it really quick.
Okay.
Okay, you got this? All right, I'll be right back.
I got it. You're seeing it more and more, which is what you love to see because it's just bringing more bowling around the world. As a lot of people are starting to start YouTube channels and TikTok Live as Dimitri just carries a 9-pin and 1 ref. So we love to see that. We're all for everyone creating. Can never have too much bowling, right, guys? Right, Kevin? Awesome bowls already in front of the gutter cap. Doubles. Started off 8-0 and now is a double. A lot more holes in these scores that we usually see here. Where I said earlier, if you aren't doing the right thing on the lanes will tell you that. You will not be able to get away with a bad shot or wrong ball choice. Oh. Michael trips the 8-pin late and then fist pumps at it and fake yells at it.
So let me tell you about my experience over there with Nate Garcia.
Okay.
First of all, Nate, one of the greatest guys out there. I love Nate.
Nate.
So cool, so cool. I walk over and he's working on his bowling ball and I go, hey, do you mind if I put a camera on your ball return up here? Is that going to bother you guys at all? And he goes, oh, my God, we're on a live stream pair. He goes, I am so sorry, Mike. I'm like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just giving you a hard time. I know, he's moving it. I said, I'm just giving you a hard time.
What is he live on?
He goes, dude, I'm so sorry. I think he's just live on Facebook or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is totally cool. Like, have at it.
One of your favorite teams is in front of us.
Well, 7-10 for Shea. That ain't good.
Shea and Tim. They're bowling well, aren't they, though? 7-0, 7-10.
Yeah, they're doing good.
200 over. It's a great score. Shea hasn't bowled the last couple of years because they've fallen on a bad weekend for him. I think he had like a wedding last year and then another event somewhere else the year before. But the last time we saw Tim and Shea bowl together, they bowled one of the craziest matches I've ever seen to bowl for the title, and then they ended up losing and getting second. But it was a best of 5. They were bowling against Jarrell and Cam Crow, some lefties, and they started off with like the front 7, Cam and Jarrell did. And Tim and Shea had like open, 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 and then it was like, oh, dead in the water. And then they threw the back 9, and he needed all 3 in the 10th to win to get to the title match. It was one of the craziest things I've seen. And Cam, who's one of my closest friends now, was telling me last night because he was like, you guys were hating on us then. You guys didn't want us to win. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you were hating on us. And I was like, no. So I told him I need to watch back that match to him to see how I was commentating it as Austin through the face.
That was a controversial match. I actually caught some slack on it because you and I were kind of a little unplugged and talking in some street terms, and you were talking about how you liked when they brought the noise, and then Lavery yelled down at him.
It was the match before. Yeah, they yelling a bunch, and then kept yelling while they were bowling.
And you said you liked the chirping and all this kind of stuff, and then some people took what we were saying.
I like tasteful chirping.
Yeah, they just took it like we were being disrespectful, and that's not what we were trying to do at all.
Yeah.
It was just like 2 guys watching bowling together,
talking
out
loud.
Up. Right? Yeah. I think sometimes people forget, and we need to remember as well, that people don't know the relationships that we have with some of these people.
Right.
So this is stuff we would be saying right next to them or with them, and people didn't know that Cam stayed at your house.
Yep.
That tournament, but yeah, that's something I always gotta think about. Not everybody knows the inside jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
You're right.
Nate's live on YouTube right now. Okay.
Nice. I love that.
Well, there we go. I encourage you to go follow Nate and Elise on YouTube, and if you want to watch more coverage of this event.
Yeah, if you want to see some behind the scenes from someone that's on the streaming pair here, go check it out.
And they have great internet in this building, so it's not going to interfere with what we have going on. So he's going to have a great feed, which is great.
So one of our sponsors, Classic Yard, who's one of my best friends from here, he opened up an interactive bar. Have you been there yet by chance?
No.
You would really like it. It's really cool. But I told him I was there the other night, and I told him to come over and pop in and hop in the broadcast with you. I said, Mike would love that. You can talk about the business. He can see what we're kind of doing a little bit. So he just texted me and asked when you're live streaming when to come in. So I told him about the times you will be commentating and have him come in and chat it up with you for a little bit.
Classic Yard. Who's the guy that's going to be coming over?
Caleb Schween. Go ahead and try to spell Schween. Let's see how you spell it.
Well, I just wrote it down so I can pronounce it properly, but I'm gonna guess that it's Schwein.
Pretty good what you do. Yep. It's funny because we went to Vegas together, and then we went over to LA when we were like 21, 22 years old, and we ended up at a bar that had like some big yard games and just like a bunch of different games interactive to play. And we were like, man, we need something like that in Springfield. So years later, he's opened up a bar, and that's what it is. And I'll let him be the one that kind of tells you guys all about it then. But it's one of my favorite places, unbiased to it being one of my buddy's bars. But it's just fun. It's a cool atmosphere. Good spare for Noodle on 36.
I'll have to check it out.
It's a good time. It's really fun.
I do want to take a moment and welcome in all of our viewers here today. We are at the 2024 Springfield Doubles. Kevin Williams in the booth with me here. My name is Mike Flanagan. You're watching this coverage on Inside Bowling. We'll be back later today with a lot more bowling for you. I'll pop it up on our screen right now.
It's a beautiful thumbnail.
9 a.m., 1:30, 6 o'clock, back tomorrow at 8:30, and then the finals will start after that, which should probably be more like 11 or so. Take a peek over here, 27, 28, 29, and 30.
Defending champs.
Action just underway here on the left pair.
Defending champs. Chapman and Lavery. Sean, that is. I'm going with the other defending champ, Anthony.
Will the winner of the tournament be wearing, or at least one person on the team be wearing a hat backwards this year? That's a question.
You're starting to see more and more. Casey now is bowling with a hat backwards. He was on the live stream pair game 1, and I've never seen Casey bowl with a hat. Now he's got a backwards cap on.
And Zach Wilkins has been doing it as well.
Well, based off the guys that are blowing backwards hats and striking, do I throw one on? Because I've got hats
You
with
might
me.
need to.
Let me tell you something. If I'm bowling back through 3 games, I'm putting a hat on. I want to say, Mike, I don't know if you saw the one change we made to this tournament this year. And I don't want to say it was because of you, but
Oh, no.
you were a little influenced in it.
Oh, no.
Do you see the change we made in our
8:30
tournament?
did it start earlier
No.
on Sunday?
No, that we've always done that. We're best of 3 for match play now. It's not best of 5 anymore.
Oh, really?
Get out a little sooner.
Well, thank you. Number 2, last year I just started hearing so many bowlers saying, "What time are we gonna get out of here? Oh my God, this is what time are we gonna get home tonight? Oh my God!" Like I just started hearing the chirping.
But it wasn't even that late. Like it was like 5 when we got done, 5, 6 o'clock. But we're bowling for $18,000.
Yeah, but the leagues were coming in.
Well, it did run a little slow last year, and I don't really know why, because it wasn't that slow the 2 years before.
It was their pace of play, man. They just turned into just the most deliberate bowlers in the world, shot after shot after shot, and talking to each other about where they're going to play on the next shot, and it just drug on. Like the year before it wasn't an issue. Actually, the 2 years before.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't get done that late. It was usually
weird,
like 4:30.
Something weird happened last year. Well, I'll tell you, with the lanes being a little bit more difficult this year and going
it's
to
a good
best
thing
of
we
3,
made the change.
I think so.
I like, in a weekend tournament, you can only make it such a long format because you just run out of time. It's not like a tour event where we have a week, so that's why I like the best of 5, because I don't like the quick match plays where it's like, okay, if you hit a bad pair and you bowl one bad game, you're just out. So, but still best of 3, still good.
I'm with you on the best of. I prefer best of 5 as well.
Because it gives you time to figure it out, make a run, and it makes it fun for us as the viewers. And the entertainment side.
If the bowlers can get it in time and they can be up and ready to bowl, best of 5 is great. I mean, we're good. Do we need to start earlier? Fine. Bring me in here at 7:30 in the morning. Make the bowlers get up. If they're going to take that long to bowl, that's fine too.
That's the thing. They are here to win. So if we got to get here a little earlier, and so be it. But we went to best of 3. We'll see how it goes. If we go back to best of 5, then so be it. But we are best of 3. That's the only change we made. I just don't think that we don't have to really make any changes to the formats anymore. That's the only one where I could see just for time. Just because we know we got guys that are driving 7-8 hours and things like that.
Right, yeah.
But they also know that when they sign up for the event.
7 hours from home.
They know that when they sign up too, though, and they're here to win. So be it if they win and they get home at 2 a.m., but they have, $9,000 in their pocket. I think they'll be okay.
Standings are in.
Yes, they are.
After 3 games, Cruz and Holloman currently leading after their 579. They sit at 14-22. Bittenbender and Barrett second at 14-16. Third is Albrecht and Wilkins at 14-09. Rice and Garcia at 13-87. Murphy and Corbin at 13-57. At 13-32 is Petrin and DeVoe. 13-21 is Hughes and Stroman. 8th is Jarvis and Hyman at 13-19. 13-18 is Chapman and Lavery. 13-02 is Powers and Cortez. O'Brien and Bird at 12-89. They had kind of a bad last game with 376. Then we have Colin Walsh and John Ralston at 1265. At 1263 is Carl and Mike Williams. Austin and Packy are currently 14th at 1258. There are your top 15 or so.
I'm gonna be honest, Mike.
Yep.
I love the scoring pace. This is a damn near perfect scoring pace. 5th is at, what's 5th at right now? 150 over?
157.
450. Yep. Like 450 a guy for 5th. That puts you in, after 3 squads, 15th if it was all the same.
Yep.
About a 225 average. That's not crazy. The guys that are leading, they're bowling well, but they're not crushing it. And you see they had 579. You see how huge of a jump that puts you at, which it does in most tournaments. But even then, like last year, 579 wouldn't bump you up nowhere near as much as you would think. So, love the scoring pace so far. And I think the scoring pace is going to drop, not a huge amount, but it's going to drop some the last 2. I think they're going to get pretty tricky for everybody. just because they hook a little bit more. And that always creates a little bit of problems because you run out of lane to use, you run out of bowling balls to use. Shea Bitten Bender hasn't been here for a couple years, so good to see him back. Bang. Bang. Do you think any team in this building has more team chemistry than Tim and Shea? They've been bowling together forever. Everything together.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good one. Kirkendall and Wilson, though.
Your boys. Those are your boys. The nicest team in the field.
Yeah, they've got some chemistry. You know who I kind of want to maybe call out?
Let's hear it.
Right now, I'm going to call them out on the air, and then somebody can text them, email them, or whatever, and tell them to come back.
Okay.
And go to the 1 hour 59-minute mark of A squad qualifying in the Springfield doubles shootout.
All right.
There is one team that I want to see come and bowl this event.
They haven't bowled it?
I don't think they have, but my memory is going, bro.
Okay.
You'll be able to tell me if they have or not.
Okay.
For some reason, maybe I think they did make it down. Higgins and Roberts.
I always try to get them to come. They haven't bowled. They haven't bowled. Like that seemed like that. Like, why aren't they here? They bowl
Chad
everything.
Roberts and Dan Higgins need to come down and bowl this event.
Chad could very well be watching this.
Yeah. Chad Roberts and Dan Higgins. I also, if Liz wasn't bowling the women's tour this week, I'd call out Adam and Liz too.
I've messaged Adam Barta,
but I can't call out. I think isn't he bowling? He was bowling something else. I forget what it is, but
I don't know.
Is DJ Archer bowling?
He texted me a couple days ago, but I don't know if he's getting in or not. I don't think he is, because he would have been here by now for the Calcutta and stuff. So no.
Yeah.
He called me when I was flying in on Wednesday about it. So, no. David asked if I'm the tournament director. I'm the tournament promoter. Because I still bowl, so there's some things that I don't make a call on, but, yeah. Chris Taylor, who is the general manager here at Enterprise, is the official tournament director. They do all the hard stuff. They do all the scoring. He makes the calls on the pattern. But when we built this tournament, I pretty much gave him the blueprint that I thought would be successful. And I think it's pretty successful. But I'm just the promoter. I just get all the guys to show up and bowl and spend money, and then I try to beat them, and I don't, and then we just have a good weekend. And then I get to just talk with Mike the whole time because I have plenty of time on my hands because I'm not bowling.
You do a good job in the booth, too, by the way. I'm not just saying that, but I get a lot of compliments. People tell me all the time how great you are in the booth.
I appreciate it. I'm good at talking. I like to do this stuff. I never really had an idea what I was going to do in life when I was 17, 18 and deciding on college. But the one thing that I was like, I think I would love to do is be like an analyst, be a commentator in any sport. Just naturally like to talk about stuff and things.
Packy with another strike. He is getting a nosebleed where he's playing. He's even got the rack on tilt.
He's got 254 left. He's got double, 7 spare, 3-bagger, 7 spare, double. And by the way, the 7 spare that he left in the 7th was the 135, I'm pretty sure. Almost the front bucket.
I know that you and Packy have become, pretty good friends and do a lot of stuff with the house bowling. But Packy's game, he is really matured. He's really turned into a force.
Packy, again, unbiased because he's one of my best friends on tour now, and just best friend in general. He is the most talented left-hander, I think, on tour.
And he's just genuine and focused, and he's got his YouTube stuff that's always on his mind, but he doesn't let it really interfere. It's all business.
Yep.
And you know what?
He just has fun.
He's also a great boyfriend.
Like, yeah,
he balances his relationship so well. Like, they went to Disney. Like, he makes time for her.
Of course.
And sometimes when you get caught up in your YouTube grind and you get caught up in your bowling,
disconnected.
and then he's involved with Buddy's Pro Shop and everything else. It's hard to make time for other people in your life.
Right.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
I think back to a guy by the name of Casey Neistat who vlogged every single day on YouTube.
Yep.
And he said that his wife hated him during the entire time he was doing it.
Yep.
You know, and, you know, they had 2 daughters, and because he was so focused. And Packy, to be able to kind of balance that, just speaks to his character.
He's just a good guy all around. Good guy all around.
I also have my own personal fan club bowling in this tournament here this weekend.
Oh, bowling.
Yeah, last night these guys called me over and started talking to me, and they were just talking me up, man. They were like telling me how great I am, and even one of the guys watches my 2-minute bowling ball review videos and says they're very good.
Nice.
And I couldn't believe it.
Who is that?
All right, these gentlemen were Eric Pollock, who I've known for years, Brandon Biondo, of all people.
That is very surprising.
Tell me about it.
Very surprising.
And the Brandon Mooney, also part of my fan club.
Nice.
And rounding out my fan club, and I didn't even know this guy was, you know, such a fanboy, but I had to sign an autograph. He took his shirt off. I had to sign his back, everything. Alec Keplinger.
That's funny.
Those 4 guys.
I had to sign his back.
Now they were. Let's just say, what were they doing? They were. What happens when you decide you're going to, I don't know why I can't think of this, when you're going to support the bowling center, you're going to purchase things from them to help support because you're bowling there that weekend.
Wait, what? I missed the first part. I was reading the chat.
They were supporting the bowling center last night.
Yeah.
Okay. They were supporting the bowling center.
Yeah.
So I really don't know if this was all genuine coming from these gentlemen. But I'm going to roll with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with that.
It was genuine. Someone in the chat says, Michael Hallman, king of the house shot. I just want to let you know, Martin, we're actually bowling on a 4-to-1 pattern, so this is far from a house shot.
Patronizing. Thank you, Brian. That's the word I was looking for. They were patronizing the bowling center last night.
Yes, they were, and they were loud and proud about it.
Kevin, by the way, I mentioned this I'm going to switch the cameras after Packy's shot, by the way, so people can take a look at the scores on the other pairs.
Michael is crushing him.
I mentioned this on Bowl TV this week. I got the call on Wednesday from the St. Louis USBC. I am going into the St. Louis USBC Hall of Fame.
That is awesome.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe that.
Isn't that crazy?
I think very well deserved.
Yeah. So
is it for your bowling performance, correct?
No. Although I think I'm going to write the whole speech as if it is about my bowling performance.
Of course you are.
You know, I want to thank everybody for me winning the Gateway back in 1999.
That's so funny. Congrats. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Before I moved to California, I thought about, because you have to send in your resume to be in the Missouri Hall of Fame, and I was going to do that, but then I didn't. I was going to see you to get into it because I'm gone now. Not a Missourian anymore.
That's true. Most of them you got to be 40.
Well, guess what? They were going to make an exception for me because I was going to write them a full-on 5-minute diss if they didn't.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
AJ Rice, front 10. I'm wearing a hat. It's Michael wore a hat. Oh, and then the slap out, which I think I've said this many times on the stream. I hate AJ's slap outs.
You hate him?
I hate him. I just hate how he does them. And I tell him that all the time, and he thinks it's hilarious. I like AJ, but I hate his slap outs. But he's got the front 11 and 1 for CJ. He's got 250 left. CJ's bowling well.
He is.
He had 250 whenever Mike. So CJ bowls 280, and he was low. He wasn't the high on the pair. Now he's got 250, not the high on the pair. But I'm wearing a hat. It's official.
You think Chapman really needs to be that deep right now
It's just what he does.
in Game 4?
I would say no, but also he has 280 left.
I know.
Going into the 10th.
I know. I agree, but I don't know if the pattern is playing that deep already.
300.
So we've
Pry
seen
it off T-shirt.
We've seen 2 300s this morning. What do they both have in common, Kevin?
Hats. Hats. Am I wrong? I'm wearing a hat.
That's true.
I have one in the car.
What else do they have in common?
T-shirts. They're wearing T-shirts.
All you got to do is put a hat on, and you'll fit right in with them.
It's
You'll
a
have
hat.
everything in common.
It's a hat.
They're left-handed.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that, honestly.
Yeah.
I just thought, what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say you need to put a hat on and bowl left-handed. You know how to bowl left-handed?
I don't know at this point in my life, but I will say, though, I think the people that have the highest totals are all right-handed, so don't make it seem like it's just the leftist wall.
Okay.
You want me to do some math here?
Okay.
All right, let's look. Let's look here. So Michael is left-handed.
Yeah.
He bowled 300 game 2. We saw it live on Inside Bowling on YouTube.
Yeah, we did.
Bonus coverage because we didn't have a camera on it.
Right, you're right.
He isn't even the high on his team.
Yeah, I know. That's
Okay,
a good point.
so
yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good.
There's a pretty good argument there.
Yeah, there is.
His partner's right-handed, and he's beating him by 40.
Okay.
Now, I don't think that's the case now because Michael just bowled another big game. Zach Wilkins.
Yeah.
790 the first 3.
Yeah, he's throwing a backup
Not
ball.
Left.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
If so, incredible. 790. I don't think there's a higher score than 790.
No,
There's not.
Wilkins is the class of the field
So where
right
was
now.
AJ had 709 for 300. So AJ's bowling well, but also not beating Zach Wilkins. So lawyered.
Well,
Lawyered.
I'm
Numbers are numbers and stats are stats.
I just
Mike.
saw a lefty bowl 300 and his right-handed partner struggling to bowl 170.
You guys can also catch a different view of that live on YouTube for Nate Garcia.
Nate Garcia, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I do think that the pattern has moved way in for the right-handers because Nate didn't have much going on in this game, and he's thrown 4 in a row here, or 3 in a row, and he's in front of the ball return. So.
Well, and you look, Sean and AJ are bowling well. They got 240, 280 left, 520. That's a big number,
Yep.
and they are lofting the gutter cap.
By the way, Shay's stepping up here in the 10th frame. It can bowl 237. Tim can bowl 222.
It's a respectable score.
Bottom right of your screen. And then we still got 193 left for David. And Justin can bowl 196 on the bottom right of your screen. Shay working on a strike in the 10th.
Chapman just stuffed a 9-pin. So to kind of elaborate, you asked a little bit ago that do you think he needs to be that deep? And it's hard to argue it when he had a 7-bagger or whatever it was. But when I see guys like playing that extreme of steep angles and hooking it that much and like he 9-pin, I truly would expect him to 9-pin fairly often just because his ball has so much entry angle. Not saying he should have 9-pin, but when you're hooking it that much, that's got to be expected. Instead of like wrap 10ing, he might 9-pin more than he 10-pins from there just because his ball is changing direction so much. But nonetheless, 259, I know he wanted the first one, is a great game right now. And his partner's got 240 to shoot 500 right now, game 4. That's a great score. That's going to skyrocket them up. They're going to get tricked the last couple.
Give me a handicap and I will. Give me a handicap and I will.
I do have something off topic I want to talk to you about when we move out of this game and into game number 5.
All right. Michael and AJ talking a little crap to each other as they both have a 300. One backwards hat, one forward hat. You know what? I'm coming in with a hat, no brim, though.
That's a good idea.
Because what am I going to pick, a forward hat or a backwards hat? Because it's 1 and 1 right now. And I can't wear a forward hat because my follow-through would hit it right off my head.
Just cut the bill right off of it.
That's what I'm saying. No bill, I'll just wear a cap.
Yeah.
It's like an oversized yarmulke.
That's perfect. That would be beautiful.
Okay. It's pretty much just a beanie, but
I was going to say, Mr. Bean. I'm about to lose that left computer, and I only brought one power cord with me. Bucket
what is
hat
that, a
sounds good.
MacBook Air? I wonder if anyone here has a charger.
Yeah, and the problem is if I unplug this machine, it goes down so quick.
I honestly bet Packy would have a charger.
Here's what I have. I can get it charging with this, but I got to find my adapter, which I know that I have one, that turns it into regular USB. But then I got to figure out how I got to find a power brick for a regular USB to then.
Are you a regular USB?
Yeah, power. I need a little.
I have
power.
one. I have a bunch of power bricks.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have my camera bag. I can go grab it if you want.
I might have said the wrong thing. I need the prong that goes into
an outlet.
An outlet that then a USB can plug into.
I have that.
You have one?
Uh-huh.
Well, then that would do it.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, Kevin's going to be right back. He's going to help me power my computer. You would think a live streaming guy would know how to do that. I bring so much stuff with me, but I was just missing that one piece. No spring chicken anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to full screen these pairs here just so you can see the finish of Bittenbinder and Barrett. Looks like somebody has moved my cameras there. They're a little out of whack. I'm going to fix that really quick. All right, that's better. Tim finishes out. Ball change, Arctic Vibe, 221. So they're still bowling good together, though. They were in second coming into this game. A little 457 to go with it. So they bowled 504, 425, 487, and now 457. Just like that, we're headed into game number 5 here in Springfield. Again, seriously, thanks for being here on Inside Bowling. If you've not subscribed to our channel, we certainly would appreciate you doing so. We're approaching 90,000 subscribers. Really want to get to that 100K. Also got some more instructional videos that'll be coming out on YouTube later this fall with Coach Mike Shady, Mike Jazz now. Don't forget we have Backstage Bowling. If you'd like to learn how to bowl a little bit better, you can tap into the brains of 2 of the best coaches in bowling with Mike Shady and Mike Jazz. Now head over to BackstageBowling.com. You can get signed up for that. There's a free trial there for that one. And also I review bowling balls on our channel here. So does Andrew Orff. If you're looking to pick up a new bowling ball and you'd like to hear what we have to say about it, you can watch those videos right here on Inside Bowling. So we've got, yeah, that'll work. That'll do. Look at you. No, this one will work right here. I think this is gonna do everything for us. We used to have Radio Shacks. Now we have Kevin Williams Shacks. This is great. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I'm just plugging in a laptop, guys. Those of you that are interested in what I'm doing, what I'm talking about right here. It's kind of fun. See if that is charging it now. Yep, we're getting juiced up. I don't know if Kevin's coming back or what. I do typically remember to take the things off the screen. Kevin Williams not in the booth anymore. So Stubblefield and John Solario with Cody Aldrich, Tony Resnick, Chad Henkins, Mike McWethy, Robert Albrecht, and Zach Wilkins. On the main screen for you, I will invert and see who we have on our other pairs. They now drop to the bottom right. Ben Porter, Chuck Klutz Jr., Danny Bradley, James Murphy, Stephen Jarvis, Tim Hyman, Junior Hughes, and Matthew Stroman. Tim Hyman had a pretty nice double set at the USBC Open Championships this year with Jonathan Hyman. They bowled 15-15 and missed an eagle by 16 pins. Nice bowling to those guys. Looks like my standings are coming in after game number 4 here already. Tournament staff doing a great job with the scores. And let's take a look at them together. Right now. Dimitri Cruz, Michael Holloman are leading. I guess I could give you guys a little more room on this. Excuse me. Let me fix that for you. Let's try this. There we go. They are at 1926. Bender Barron at 1873. Rice and Garcia at 1866. Albrecht and Wilkins at 1846 on the right side of your screen there. At 1819 is Chapman and Lavery. Petrin and DeVoe, 1769. Jarvis and Hyman are at 1763. Hughes and Stroman at 1749. Murphy and Corbin at 1748. Aaron O'Brien and Eddie Bird at 1734. Colin Walsh and John Ralston at 1719. Powers and Cortez at 1706. Bolds and Hanrahan 1692. Carlson and McLaren at 1688. Thank you much. They just delivered the scores, but I was able to check my inbox and get them to you guys a little bit sooner there. They're doing a great job getting the scores out. I want to give a shout out to Jessica, who crushes it here every year. It's fantastic. All right. Sorry, Jared. Thanks, Clay Can Play TV. Appreciate it. How's Leia Glazer doing? Good question. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how she's doing. Glazer, 157, 153, 200, 135. I would say she's not having a great event. Not matched up very well. Her partner, Mike Ormsby, 196, 247, 198, 246. So, Leia off to a slow start here, but maybe they'll re-enter. Joining me back in the booth is Kevin Williams.
Hi. Did you just read off some scores? Let me see this.
I did go over the scores, yeah.
This is after 4.
It is.
You know, you were trying to bring up that the left is walled. That's essentially what we were trying to do earlier. And Michael still has not passed his partner yet, who's right-handed. So
No, all I was saying, if you're going to throw 12 strikes in a row, you got to be left-handed.
okay, that's fair. I can't argue that. I can't argue that.
Hey, look, I'm just.
Hey, facts are facts. That's right.
I'm not saying that the left is walled, or the right is walled.
It just felt like that.
If you had to rank the bowlers, just the bowlers in this squad, top 10 bowlers, Michael Hallman and AJ Rice are 2 of the top 5.
Hold on. I don't know if I can agree with that, just because there's a lot of really good bowlers in this squad. You think they're both in the top 5?
I think so.
Okay. I'm just gonna list some names that could be an argument that they might be better than.
Okay.
Tim and Shea.
I love them, but they haven't accomplished as much as those 2.
Zach Wilkins. Right
Okay,
now.
Zach is more.
Right now.
Zach's above them.
Okay. Chapman, Sean Lavery.
Okay, I'll make a case that you could put one of them ahead of them right now.
Okay. So they're still in the top 5.
And then the other one that I believe would go into the top 5 is Packy
Packy?
Hanrahan. Yeah.
No Casey Murphy.
No. I mean, this house, he gets like a big boost, but
Yeah. Okay, I'd agree with you. I just,
I mean, they're definitely top
I just knew
10.
there's a lot of super. Well, yeah, that's not even close. But I just, had to see about making an argument.
We have 52 bowlers in the field right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if they're top 7, okay, I think we can both agree they're for sure top 7.
No, they're top 5. You're right. I just know that there's a lot of good bowlers, and I just had to double check of who's actually bowling.
So 2 of the top 5 bowlers in the tournament are both 300.
Yeah.
They just both happen to be left-handed, and I just like to say stuff like that.
But I'm not top 5 in any squad here, so if I bowl 300, it's really saying something.
Well, if you do, then you're going to basically prove my point.
The left's walled. That's which is what you're getting at. Which is just simply what you're getting at.
Not really. I like the scoring pace, though. I'm with you.
Perfect. I love it.
So the off-topic thing I wanted to talk to you about, I talked about it during Game 1 earlier here today.
Uh-huh.
But, there's something pretty magical happening this afternoon.
Okay.
Are you aware with what that is? It's not in this building.
No, but I love magical things, so I want to know.
So, there's these moments in life when you know where you are when certain things happen and stuff.
Yeah.
And so the men's Olympic basketball team is competing for gold today.
Yeah.
And
What time's that at?
3:30 Eastern,
Okay.
2:30 here.
Yep.
And when you look at the top 10 players in the NBA all time, when it's all said and done, when their careers are over, Steph Curry and LeBron James and possibly Kevin Durant might be 3 of the best, or top 10 players all time in NBA history.
I'm so excited for this topic because I'm a big basketball guy. So
Okay.
Go on.
The fact that the 3 of them are playing together and it's Steph's first ever Olympics, and they're all going to be over 40 years old when it comes to LA, and they may not even play.
Mm-hmm.
And the comeback they had against Serbia the other day, I don't know if you watched that game or not, but it was incredible comeback.
Yep. Down 17 going in the 4th.
They're going to be passing the torch on to Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum and these other guys after this Olympics, that what we are about to see today, this afternoon, is one of those magical moments where we're going to watch USA basketball with 3 of the top 10 whenever you can get 3 of the top 10 players of all time, and I know Durant's a bubble boy on top 10 ever, okay? I get that. But those 3 guys playing together for something that's meaningful other than an all-star game to represent our country and compete for
that's
gold
why they did
for
it.
us.
It's the last chance.
Those 3 guys, I'm gonna have it up over here while I'm calling the tournament. This is a magical moment happening in basketball later today.
This is the greatest basketball team ever assembled.
I mean, the dream team was pretty damn good.
This team is better.
But Joel Embiid will still be around in future years. You know, guys like that will become the leaders. But this is.
He won't say it.
The rest of the world. The rest of the world is caught up to USA
that's
basketball,
a big thing.
though. Okay.
The numbers. It was like the numbers of how many NBA guys the Dream Team had to face versus NBA guys now.
Yeah.
It's just a considerable amount more.
Yep. They were down by 17 against Serbia going into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, which is crazy. And Serbia is not even one of the better other national teams because like Canada has like 5 or 6 NBA guys.
But Serbia has Jokic, and they played good D, and then they had Bogdanovic that they could throw it out to, and he was on fire hitting threes. I watched that game on replay last night, as a matter of fact. But anyway.
I've seen Zach do that 3 times
phenomenal.
where he hated a shot and he struck.
I know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't ever got to watch one game live, so I've just went back and watched the whole recordings. I made sure to not know box scores. I know that they're going to win every game, even though they almost lost to Serbia. But
they're playing France today.
I made sure to watch.
Gobert and Wembanyama.
Which their team is good, too.
Yeah, they are good.
Evan Fournier had a good game the other day when they. The Olympics it's fun. It's the only time of the year where you become a fan of sports you've never watched before.
Yep.
When we were in Houston for the Lucy, me and Cameron went out and there was women's ping pong going on, and I was zoned into it.
And women's soccer right now is competing for the gold as well right now.
Love that. Zach Wilkins' net has not stopped striking even close yet. He went open, and then he had the next 8 in a row. He just tripped a 4-pin on a shot he did not like. I've only seen him throw 2 shots go down the lane, and both of them he immediately put his hands up like, oh, my God, don't get 5 and split, and he struck. So that tells me his ball's doing the right thing.
I want to catch up on some of the questions coming in. Hey, I got a question. During the finals, is it something you can come in and watch? I'll be at Enterprise tomorrow for a youth tournament at 1 and was wondering if there was a free to watch, it's free to come in and watch the event. The answer
absolutely.
is yes.
That's exactly what we want. We want everyone to come and see what we got going on and see some of the best amateurs and pros in the nation bowling.
Also a question here, is Kyle Sherman or Brad Miller bowling? They are
nope,
not.
They never bowl it. Isn't that funny how that works?
USA soccer is up 1-0 on Brazil.
Let's go.
John Chapman and I are in the same boat, but we're also older than Kevin, so that's why we're probably...
You guys don't want to start that argument. You will lose it. You will lose it.
Jake Gens also agreeing with John Chapman and I.
You guys will lose it. This team's the best team ever assembled. The Dream Team was not that good. They had a washed Larry Bird who was on his way out the door. Meanwhile, you have LeBron James, who's the Olympics MVP.
Nice messenger there.
Yeah, huge. For a double for 2-0.
Yep.
Zach has a chance to throw the back 11 for 279 and continue his hot streak of the day and of the year.
Why'd you make the right so easy, Kevin?
Because I don't make it easy. That's just how the game is. The right's always walled. That's how it always is going to be. And I've just accepted it.
Zach has bowled 279, 259, 248, and in last game he bowled a horrible 208 game.
And now he's shooting at least 260 because he just got the first one in the 10.
Yeah, this man is unbelievable.
He's bowling so good this year. That's the thing about bowling, but that's also the scary thing too. But when things start to click, it's just like feels like it's on cruise control. But then when things aren't clicking, it feels like you cannot do anything right. But right now, Zach is just striking every time he touches the bowling ball.
Zach sat with me in the booth for almost an entire block at the Spa City. It was nice talking things over with him. He loves Happy Dad seltzers.
That makes sense. Those are good.
He loves Happy Dad.
Those are good. Well, I'm going to watch him throw this shot. He's going to trip a 4-pin. I just feel it. No, that one's 10 back. 270. He's good. He's striking. I'm going to go eat some food.
All right. See you, Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kevin Williams. He is exiting stage right, and he is going to go eat some food, as he said. I'm gonna need some food as well. Once again, let's pop this up. Let's get this up for you. We'll watch Zach throw this shot here. I'm gonna switch to the other pairs. This left grouping here is going to they're half a game behind our right grouping, so I'll invert the stream here. Wilkins, 279er. There we go. There we go. Also, when we bring this in, I want to have you take a look there. Springfield doubles here. You're watching A Squad, 9 a.m. start. It's 11:30 now. They've got 2 games to play after this one. So we'll be done around 12:30 or so. We'll be back with B Squad at 1:30. And then back again at 6 p.m. for C Squad here tonight. And then tomorrow, Cashers Round starts at 8:30, finals immediately after. Where at? Oh, right here, Inside Bowling. We're at 88,600 subscribers here. If you're watching and you have not subscribed, which most of you have subscribed, you guys that love these live streams, you guys have been here for a long time, and I appreciate it. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I got to start milking that a little bit. I got to start going after the subs. I'm not a beggar. I'm not a beggar at all. But I got this office now where we print all our T-shirts and everything, and I really want that Google Play button behind me. I want to be able to put that up. I mean, it's just been such a long journey. I mean, 87,000 people. My goodness gracious. I mean, it's just unbelievable that I would have never thought many, many years ago that I'd ever be able to fire up, talk about these great bowlers, and you guys would all come along for the ride. And you guys are really the reason why I do this. I do it for the players too, but it's certainly not for setting it up. It's certainly not for driving there. And it's certainly not for the long hours. But what it is for all of us to get together, break some bread, have some fun, watch some great bowlers, showcase some folks. And that 100,000, that's going to mean the world to me. I've always enjoyed filmmaking and television and movies and sports. And all that kind of gets put together in what we do here. And could this be better? Absolutely. Could I tie up more resources into it? Yep, no doubt about it. But we've kind of found our niche here, and we kind of do our thing. You guys get used to it. You guys like it enough to hang out with us. And then, of course, we've got our interactive chat room. And if you have anything that you want to ask, typically we'll get to it. We get off topic at times. We break down ball reaction at times. We do everything we possibly can. But you know what happens tomorrow? When we get down to the bracket play, it's game on, where we are just calling these matches as if, doing our best ABC Sports or today Fox Sports impersonation of trying to call the bowling as best as we possibly can for you. So once again, we are in Springfield, 2024 Springfield doubles, A squad qualifying. We got 3 squads for you today, A, B, and C. We are in game number 5 of 7, 2 to play after this one here. I want to thank our sponsors, Columbia 300, Brunswick, and Track. If you're thinking about a new bowling ball purchase, make sure you check out those 3 great brands. The B7 brands, as I like to call them, Brunswick and all 7 of their brands. Springfield Coring and Cutting, I want to give a shout out to those guys as well for helping us out and being able to sponsor this one. If you're in the Springfield area, check out Springfield Coring and Cutting. Of course, we want to thank our friends at Ben Crazy. You can go in there. They reload with new items every single week, and you go into the bins and you go crazy, folks. Check them out. They got 2 locations here in Springfield. Also, our friend Caleb Schween over at Classic Yard. Want to appreciate all that he's done. He's supposed to join us later on today. And our friends here at Enterprise Park Lanes, our hosts. Again, Enterprise Park Lanes, home of the Greater Ozark Bowling Tournament. One of the finest singles, doubles, and team event bowling tournaments in the country. Make sure you check out the Greater Ozarks Bowling Tournament. Of course, if you want to support what we do here, you can head over to InsideBowling.com. We now sell balls, bags, shoes, everything you need for the bowler in your life or yourself. And then also we do sell merch, T-shirts, and hoodies, and you can save 15% off of the apparel with coupon code YouTube. That's good year-round YouTube. Keep us in mind when you're buying a gift or when you treat yourself to something in the bowling industry. We certainly would appreciate a look at our website when you do your shopping. Jarvis, best he can do is 164. Hyman, 219. It was 213 for Junior Hughes. And Matthew Stroman can finish with 215. Next door, beautiful shot there by Chuck. He can still get to 248, 226 for his partner Ben. Bradley can finish out here and bail out a game here with 203, 217 for James Murphy. And happening on the bottom right of your screen, John Solario can still finish with 250. Excuse me, no, now it's going to be 236. He's up shooting at a spare right now. That's in the 9th. He can strike out in the 10th for 236. Ryan Stubblefield can still bowl 205. He'll be up in the 9th on the bottom right of your screen. Cody Aldrich can get to 226. He'll be up in the 10th frame. Tony Resnick right now up on the approach. Throwing the shot there. That's a triple for him. 118 in the 6th, 148, 178. He can bowl 238. Tony Resnick can bowl 238. A little lucky spare there. A little clean living for Matthew. That cover is going to get him a chance at another 10 pins to his score. Where can we see the standings? You know, I'm not really sure on that, to be brutally honest. I will ask if they're putting them up anywhere. Ads pop up on the side of the screen almost about every 10 minutes. It's kind of annoying. Okay. Awesome, M. Ham. What Springfield is this at? It's in Missouri. Springfield, Missouri, center of the United States. If the United States was a bowling ball, Missouri would be the core. Okay, so they're updated on the Facebook page. Beautiful. I'm gonna go over to the Facebook page then, and I am going to get you guys a link. Let's see, 10,000 Springfield doubles. Let's see what I get here. Yep, they are being updated there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bit.ly link. So let's go over to bit.ly and let's see. I'm going to create a new one and I'm going to click link and I'm going to type in the destination and I want it to be 2024 Springfield doubles. Let's go with that as the URL. Perfect. Got it all set up, copied, and then I'm going to go paste it right over here. Standings. And then, boom, here you go. And then I am going to pin that at the top of the chat. There we go, guys. There's where your standings are located, pinned at the top of the chat. See, that's why we work together. That's why we're a team here, you guys and me. It's beautiful. You got a friend in me. All day, every day. About ready to turn the page into game number 6. Austin Bolts, Packy Hanrahan, Casey Murphy, Tyler Corbin coming over. Tony Resnick left a 7-pin first shot in the 10th. 217 is his max. Cody Aldrich had 206. 221 for John Solario, and Ryan Stubblefield finishes with 172. That's on the bottom right of your screen. I want to give you guys the updates there. I know you guys have been paying attention, tuning into those guys as well. That's what they bowled. And these last couple shots here on lanes 27 and 28 will complete game 5. We'll make the switch over to lanes 35 through 38 and introduce you to the new players that will be coming in over there for game 6. I gotta tell you guys, it's been a complete grind the last month for me. So if I'm a little off at this event, my apologies now. It's been a month, let me tell you. I got a new storefront June 28th, and had to get like a conference table, put it together myself, a new desk, put that together. Had to move a whole bunch of stuff out of my storage unit into there. Had to get it all set up for all the printing. I've got 3 new massive accounts that I'm working with, that I'm working very closely with them and getting all that up and running. Our printer broke twice. And then also I've been working, I've been putting out these ball review videos and getting all those out, editing those and working on that with my team. Devin Bidwell helps us with that. My buddy Carlos as well, all the thumbnails. And then we've been designing a lot of new stuff. I buy and sell baseball cards on the side. I've been going to a lot of shows, doing a lot of grading. I got my brother helping me with that now. And then I went and worked the PBA 50 tour this week up in Hammond. It was a great event. Congratulations again to John Janowitz on yet another win. What he's doing this year on the PBA 50 tour is incredible. And then I went home for about 12 hours. I had to do my expense reports and get all this gear together and do some other things. And then made the trek down here last night and put all this stuff together. Got about 6 hours of sleep last night, rolled into here this morning, and we're up and running, and here we are again. And then guess what? I get to go home. We're going to have a solid week in the office, and then on Friday I'm going to head up to Dubuque to Cherry Lanes to do it all over again next weekend right here on Inside Bowling. The 11thframe.com Open, Jeff Riggles event. We'll be streaming it again. It's going to be great to be back to that one. Let's take a look. Let's flip over. Let's do it. Let's do the flip skis. Let's go over here. Who we got? Aaron O'Brien, Eddie Bird, Brandon Carlson, and Tyler McLaren. We're going to have Josh Imhoff as well. Bowl with Corey Smith. And then looks like Nate Garcia and A.J. Rice. Brandon Carlson is left-handed and with a hat on backwards. So you know what that means. 300 coming up. This is like the whole new thing here. This is it. This is what you got to do. You just put the hat on backwards, left-handed, strike all day. Not that time for AJ, though. Well, we got NFL preseason football already today. Crazy. I don't know if I'm the hardest working man in the industry. I just keep myself busy. There's a lot of other people that work really hard in this industry too. I just take on a lot. If there was good money in any one thing, I'd just stick with it. I don't know what the definition of good money, though, is anymore. To those of you that are all, I mean, we all deal with the same struggles of life, right? You got your job, right? And then you've got the things you want, the things that all these celebrities that we all just drool over, all the things they have. We don't have it, so we wake up every day feeling depressed. We don't have those things, right? We did an interview with John Janowitz this week on Bowl TV, and I highly suggest that you subscribe to Bowl TV. You get the PBA, PWBA tours, you get everything over there, okay? What I do here is fun, and it's free on YouTube, and it's great, and it's perfect for what it is. But if you're looking for the upper end of just bowling, subscribe to Bowl TV. It's well worth it, okay? So we interviewed John Janowitz, and he said that he really tries to live his life every day to be grateful for the things that he has and to not get too caught up in the things that he doesn't have, because there's always going to be people that have it better than you and people that have it worse than you. So if you can be grateful for the things that you have and focus on how much better than you have it than other folks, you tend to be a bit more humbled. You tend to not be chasing things as much. And at the same time, what you do is you start to become quite comfortable in your own skin and where you're at in your life. And then if you want to tweak and be able to level up and do different things, well, then you can put together a game plan and do it. But you're doing it for you and for maybe some of the things that you may want. You're not doing it because you want to be like somebody else. And the thing that John said on there was so phenomenal. Makes so much sense. And that's why he enjoys food so much, because when you go and purchase food or have a nice meal, you get to taste the food and you get to enjoy the food, right? And everybody enjoys food. There's no like really big level up on the food thing. Sure, you can go to a nice dinner or drink like really expensive wine or something like that. But still, food is food. And if you really enjoy food, which everybody does, John gets to do that. He gets to come out and bowl. I just really took a lot from the interview we did with him and his outlook on life, and that's why everybody loves the guy. Eddie Bird on a double. Aaron O'Brien going at a 280 max score, 200 pace, Dutch score so far. Brandon Carlson, double 9 spare. Eddie, oh, solid 8. You're welcome, Eddie. That was my fault. I was talking you up. Yep, tear that shirt. Take it off. Josh Imhoff with the triple. Give a shout out to my man Josh. He invited me down to the Spa City, and he had a great event down there. I encourage you to look for that one next year, everybody, and watch the archive here on Inside Bowling that we did about a month ago. Nate Garcia here trying to pick up the 4-9. Let's flip out of here. Eddie's gonna pick this 8-pin. I know he will. Woo. No doubt, no doubt. We head over here, Shea Bittenbender, Tim Barrett. Again, they are currently, actually, I might have a score update. I might have a score update shortly here. Packy's getting it going. He's got the front 4. Corbin and Murphy. Let's see what I got here. I have a feeling I'm gonna have scores. Yep, I sure do. These guys are so good here. They're all over it. Scores after game 5 came in 3 minutes ago. I'm 3 minutes late, y'all. You guys gonna be okay with that? And here we go. Here we go. We'll let Mike throw a shot here. Sorry, Tim, we're gonna cover you up for a second. Here we go. Dimitri and Holloman, 24-49. Albrecht and Wilkins, 23-58. Rice and Garcia, 23-38. Bittenbender and Barrett, 22-90. Chapman and Lavery, 22-74. Aaron O'Brien, Eddie Bird, 22-21. Murphy and Corbin, 22-13. Hughes and Stroman, 21-62. Petrin and DeVoe, 21-42. Walsh and Ralston, 21-37. Jarvis and Hyman, 21-21. At 2103 is Carlson and McLaren. Powers and Cortez at 2103. Bolt and Hanrahan at 2073. So again, a little bit lower scores. If you'd like to see how your favorite team is doing, I posted a link at the top of the standings in the chat. They are available for you to see as they're updating the Facebook page over there. Did I go to nationals? I did go to nationals and made a fool of myself. If you look on your screen right now, not a lot of strikes. Thank you. Back in the booths, Kevin Williams.
Back, baby. Better than ever. It's cold in here.
It is. It's a little on the chilly side.
It's freezing. I can't wait to bowl, though, because I like bowling when I'm cold. Anything cool happened while I was gone? Package got the front five. Let's go.
Yeah, we went over the scores. We did go over the scores.
Oh, you already had a score sheet.
Yeah, I want to tell you this. Your team is on it, man. The
Dude,
back
I know.
office is emailing the scores
okay,
over
nice.
better than ever. Not to say they were ever bad in the past, but
Yeah.
it's I mean they're lightning quick here.
They're really on it.
I'm gonna tell you something. This Arctic vibe,
So good.
it really is a great ball.
So good.
Walter Ray uses it, and when he uses it, his ball splits the 8-9.
Yeah, it's the best bang for your buck ball. People say that all the time, but it's a lower end ball, and the vibe's been around for however long, a long time. Austin, I thought he was bowling on lane 29 for a second. I'd say they're starting to get a little tricky, but guys are still striking. Casey missed a single pin. That's unlike him. Wait, Casey's not wearing his elbow brace anymore?
I guess not.
I've never seen him bowl without it. Wow. It's so weird to see.
What'd you say about the Arctic vibe, by the way?
Best bang for your buck. I also said it's been around forever. Not the Arctic, but just the vibe. Wow. This ball should cost $250. Go check it out on YouTube. Mike Flanagan, Inside Bowling. You hear people say that all the time about like the low end balls, and you know it's just kind of like one of those things that just trying to catch people's attention. But I truly mean it. Like it hooks a ton.
Nice 210 conversion from Casey.
It hooks a ton, and it's
does.
just super good for a low price point ball.
I just reviewed
That's got a hook.
the Vaporize and the Mesmerize. Those are pretty good.
Yeah,
I really like them.
right-handed ball. The Vaporize is a right-handed ball. It's too quick for me. I threw it a little bit last week when I drilled it, and it just changes direction too violently for Kevin. So I don't really need help with that. Tyler Corbin super posted it. Good shot. Tyler gets really good when they get really gross because he has a wild ball roll. He has a bunch of tilt, that frisbee looking ball roll. When I first started bowling and was traveling all the time with Casey and learning how to bowl on the weekends, and that's when there's still like, you didn't put out a lot of oil, so you would get to tournaments where people would say like the dirt, where people would bowl on the dirt. Anytime it got to the point where like 190 was winning matches and match plays and there's no oil on the lanes, Tyler Corbin was unstoppable. So I expect him to carry the heavy load the last 2 games for their team. Not to say that Casey's going to struggle because he's also good when they're hard, but Tyler likes them when they get tricky because his ball's good. His ball roll is weird and funky. As Austin trickles the 2, 7, 5, 4, 8, half the loaf. Where's Packy and Austin at in the standings?
They are 14th.
Oh. Timothy Morant is how they have him. 3-bagger. Yeah, Packy missed in on that one a little bit. Up the lane a little bit too much, hooked on him.
.130 for the next squad. You think that's going to be when we will start?
Yeah, we're always on time on the squads.
Yeah, just making sure.
I mean, it's 12. They're finishing up. Take about 30 minutes to bowl this next game. Take 45 minutes to oil. Yeah, it'll be right there. It'll be right there. Packy misses the 2-4-7-8. The hardest, quote-unquote, makeable. The hardest non-split spare, I feel like. As Casey picks a 10-pin.
By the way, Kevin, we'll talk a little business on the air. I don't mind if the world listens to it.
All right.
We print all the merch for the House Bowling website.
Yep.
And we got a storefront now.
Yep.
We've got a actual building and everything where we're doing everything. And we've got a bunch of new accounts, and they're they're kind of bringing us into a whole bunch of new apparel items that we can now provide for you guys.
Okay.
This is one of them.
Little pullover.
It's a,
hoodie training thing.
yeah, just a dry fit hoodie.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, you can do whatever you want. So when you guys are thinking about some new merch, or if you want to do something, there's some pretty affordable stuff. I told Packy about it, but you know, to where you guys don't have to pass the cost on to the consumer to be too high.
Yeah.
We just put these on Inside Bowling, actually, these hoodies, and I forget what we priced them at, but I think they're just barely over $30.
Oh, that's good. For like a little trainer hoodie.
Yeah, I think, you know what I like this thing for, honestly, is when you bowl a tournament, your name's on the back, and then you got to go to lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Throw this bad boy on,
and then everyone's like, who's Kevin Williams?
Right. And, yeah, so, I mean, we have those at $32.
Yeah, that's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
And to be able to print stuff on them.
And they're like an Under Armour. They're like an Under Armour or Nike dry fit. It's made in the same factory. It just doesn't say it on it.
The thing that I complain about, like, when it comes to, like, the bowling apparel is I don't want something super loud with all these bowling logos. And so when I'm in the bowling alley, the hoodies, the couple hoodies that, like, we have and stuff, they just don't look good. I just don't like them. I just need a normal shirt. So that's perfect. Throw a Columbia 300 and some other logos on there and just stay warm because it's freezing in here.
Yeah, and, well, I was going to do that, but I forgot I did that, so I won't do that. Never mind.
Kevin, it seems to me that Packy's been in a little bit of a slump, maybe even since the Open. Do you think so, and why? I wouldn't really say a slump at all. He, the Lucy, the left wasn't great. Cam Crow crushed him, but none of the lefties really bowled all that well, and he just bowled all right. And then Jonesboro, the left, wasn't good until you got in the match play, apparently. So I wouldn't say a slump. Well, maybe now. He's not bowling that good today, but not a slump. The only thing about, like, like the guys on tour, we usually take some time away from bowling when we get done with the tour season because the tour season is just so long and just jam-packed with bowling and being on the road. So a lot of us kind of get not quite as sharp as we usually are. So I don't know if he's just not quite bowling a whole lot right now and he's just not super sharp. Casey too, but Packy has one of the best work ethics on tour, just in bowling in general. So even when he's not bowling a lot, he still practices. But I know that he took a couple weeks off, whatever. So that might be it. He might just not be quite as sharp as he usually is. So that's my guess.
Austin crosses over. It's unusual. You guys can all see what these folks have left. Tim and Shay still bowling well. Shay can bowl 225. Tim can bowl 268. I am going to invert our stream, though. If you want to keep watching there on the bottom right of your screen now. Aaron O'Brien working on 240. Eddie Bird working on 268. Possible 223 for Brandon Carlson, and Tyler McLaren can still bowl, looks like 197, 257. Josh Imhoff right now can still get to 266. Corey Smith, 121, 211. And AJ Rice can still get to 266. Imagine that. Nate Garcia still struggling a bit. Get to 181.
Struggling, but he's 70 over, so it's not like he's super hurting the team, you know, while AJ's striking. At least, like, you know, Nate's getting what he can when he can, which is like the epitome of like a doubles tournament. Yeah. Hey, man, I don't really got it, but I'm going to try to stay close and get what I can. Hold me up here.
Nate is truly on the every other game plan. 255, 191. 232, 179. 215, 191 max.
So you're telling me he needs to bowl better in the even games?
Yeah.
Lucky for him, he bowls less even games than odd games. Glass half full kind of guy, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Let's see. I wonder what AJ's throwing. Can't see from here, really. But he's left. He'd probably throw it hard. Oh, he drifts a lot. He still is left and throwing it hard. Wrap 7. Good shot. With the Pry It Off t-shirt. See, when he goes to lunch, no one even knows what that is. It's not bowling logos. It's just a Pry It Off t-shirt.
Well, Kevin, if you don't mind, I'm going to stretch my legs real quick.
Go stretch your
I'll
legs.
let you bring home Game 6. I'll be back for Game 7.
I can do that. I'll bring it home.
And your chat room's right here. And if you want to go to the other pair, you just click that.
All right.
And then send it with the arrow.
Okay.
Just click whichever one you want and send it with the arrow if for some reason you want to.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right, guys, now that he's gone, the Dream team is not better than today's team. I said what I said. Just kidding. I'm not going to bring that back up. Eddie Bird, PBA 50 rookie for the people that are some Birdman fans out there. He only bowled a couple events, he told me. I briefly talked with him, but he said next year he plans to do a lot more bowling, which you love to hear. Eddie's a solid bowler, has been for a long time. So it's cool to see him put a PBA logo on and go see what he can do against the best in the world in that age bracket. Nate, 210. Can't figure out the even games. He's going to pick up the spare. He's going to double. He's going to get what he can. Hi, Mike. Not Flanagan, for the people that just heard me say Mike. Mike Dole. How are you? I'm good. Hi. Thanks for saying hi. USA women win gold for soccer. Let's go. USA. USA. All right, AJ Rice has a chance to shoot 255, keep up his striking abilities here, hold up his partner, Nate Garcia, who has 168 left. A little behind the head pin, a little quick. Tells me he kind of missed it a little bit. 244 is still a good game. I mean, with this scoring pace, that's above the scoring pace. So, well, his partner is struggling, but they can find a way to get to 4-0. It's not going to overly hurt them. Is Brandon Carlson. Fist pump early. Knew that was a strike. 223. Aaron O'Brien has 240 left, and his partner Eddie Bird has 268 left. That's a huge score. Stuff fade on lane 37 for the baby goat. That's what I call him. Josh the baby goat Imhoff. One of the best mustaches in bowling right now. You don't see many youngins rocking the stash like that. But he's breaking barriers. Is the backwards hat the new thing? I've seen there's 3 backwards hat out of 5 people on our screen right now. 6. 50% of the people right now on our screen are wearing backwards hats. If I made a rule change to have no hat wear, do you think they don't show up? I wonder. .244 for Josh Imhoff. His partner only has 188 left. And then AJ Rice, 243. I'd take 240 every time with this scoring pace right now. We take 1 and 4 after 3 squads of qualifying. We do allow re-entries with your same partner that you have signed up with. If someone bowls bad in A squad and we have spots on B and C, they can bowl all 3 squads if they want. If you want to pay it and bowl, come on, let's go. So, being as we have about 70 teams, we usually get 25 to 30 re-entries. We could just say 90. We take 1 and 4 to the cashers round in the morning. We'll bowl 5 more games with pins carried over, and then the top 16 will bowl in a bracket. 1 through 4 get 2 round buys. 5 through 8 get 1 round bye. 9 through 16 bowl. It's best of 3 Baker, which a lot of doubles tournaments don't do Baker. So we decided let's do Baker because it's just fun to watch and it's fun to do. A lot of people, you don't get to bowl a format like that often. So when you do bowl something like that, it's pretty fun to do. If we did it all the time, I'm sure people would rather just bowl their own games and whatever. But so 1 and 4 make it. Bowling for. We have $10,000 guaranteed up top, and then we also have a Calcutta that's paying $8,000. So $18,000 to be made in a weekend for a doubles team. I'd say that's pretty good if you ask me, but if you didn't ask me, I'd say it anyways again. So looking at the scoring pace, assuming we're going to take about 20 teams or so, 18 teams. Usually you'll look at, 5th or 6th for each squad, which right now is at 220 over, is 6th. That's Eddie and Aaron who are in front of us and bowling a really good game. So this is perfect timing for them to bowl 500 because they just got the second one in the 10th for 260. His partner had 240. So 500 is going to move you a lot. It's going to move you a lot. They've had 450, 460, 370, 440, 480. So 500 is very timely. So they've gone 484 or 500 the last 2. I'm pleased with this scoring pace. People in the chat, do you like seeing, what kind of scoring pace do we like seeing? Do we like seeing 240 scoring pace? Do we like seeing 220 where there's still score out there and you can see a 500 game and you can appreciate a 230 or 240? Or do you like to see them dirt hard, shooting 2-0, 210 is a great score? What scoring pace do we like out there? Because me, it might just be because I'm younger and this is the game I live in now. I like to see where there's still ability to get score. This is like my ideal scoring pace. 220. You shoot 230, it's going to help you a little bit. If you shoot 2-0, 210, it's not going to hurt you any. But you're not going to bowl any 140 because they're just dirt hard, and then you kind of take away from a little bit of, regular ball motion or whatnot. So I'm very pleased to see what the scoring pace is at. Michael and Dimitri are leading. They've had 14, 420, and then 570, 50, 520, which they've bowled incredible the last three. But it's nice to know they can start off with 14, 420 and say, we got it. We just need to put a couple games together and we'll be good, which they put some big games together. 579, that will be the high game of the weekend. That's my prediction. I don't know if we're going to see many 570s like that. Jason said I like mediocre, 215 to 220. It's exactly what I like. 215 to 220 around there to where you don't see guys just getting their head kicked in, but you can see bigger games. We've seen a couple 300s, fun to watch. We want to see strikes. Come on, let's be honest, guys. We want to see strikes. Hakeem the Dream, 210 to 225. Makes a great match. Hakeem don't even bowl and he knows. And he's watching bowling right now? He must be bored. Hakeem, bring your son up here. I want to say hi to my boy, Emmanuel Johnson. The question is, are they wearing hats for the drip or to cover up the hair? C, all of the above. All the above. Multi-purpose accessory. Okay, well, I like them 240, 250s. You a damn lie. Say, bro, don't do that, because I'm coming to Nightmare. Bring them on down to me. I can only strike so much anymore. All right, we got some new people. Game 7. I don't know how to change the graphic, but when the boss, Mike Flanagan, comes back, he'll be able to change it. We are now in Game 7. This is the final game of A Squad for Springfield Doubles Shootout 2024 at Enterprise Park Lanes. It says it on the thing in the booth, Kevin Williams. I'm the only one in the booth. I feel like I'm in control, and he's told me how to do like 2 things. I can change one camera, and I'm going to show you guys I know how to do that now, just simply because I'm learning. Boom, and then, what's up, guys? I do this for real. I am commentary. I switched just to see. I didn't know who was on the other pair, but last game coming up here. Out of the 4 teams that we got on this screen, I don't know if many of them are bowling that well. Let's take a quick look. No, none of these teams are really bowling that well. Let me switch back. Let me do it just because it's not a fluke. If it happens once, it's a fluke. Bang. All right, on 37 and 38, we got the Breedlove family. It's the father and son duo of Darren and Darren, Junior and regular. And then we have Junior Hughes and Matthew Stroman, which Junior's real name is George, and that's what it should be on the screen. But for some reason it's not, and we're going to have to figure that out pretty quickly and talk to somebody about that. After 5, Junior and Stroman were close around that number. At 5th or 6th is kind of what you want to look at each squad, because we have 3 squads. We're taking 1 and 4. They were at 21.62. They were about 60 back of 6th. So they're hanging around that number. So if they can bowl a big one here, make it a little bit interesting, as Junior looks to be even and his partner is 150 over. So Matthew Stroman bowling pretty decent. Over on 35 and 6, we have James Murphy. That says Danny. Yes, it does. Danny Bradley. And then Ryan Powers, Victor Cortez. A natural at work. Thanks, I appreciate that. Luke Kroll says 240 all the time. The only reason you say 240 all the time is because you are 240 all the time. That's the only reason you say that. Oh, Ryan Power says hooking them. You see how quick the 6-pin just snapped the 10 out? It's insane. We just keep seeing. Oh, look at this tripod in the way. We just keep seeing more and more people filming. I love to see it. Oh God. All right, Flanagan's gonna come back. He's gonna have to yell at another person for a tripod being in the way. I flipped the screen twice because once is a fluke, but I did it twice to see that I now know how to run this by myself. Honestly, if you want to take the day off,
Yeah, no problem.
we'll just split the royalties.
It was actually kind of funny this week at the PBA 50. Dave Lamont was in the booth, who is the golden voice of bowling, and
Yes.
he was sitting in the middle. I was on the right, and the producer chair is on the left, and Brian was dealing with some technical things, and he's like, well, when Brian gets back, we can go over there. And I said, Dave, why do we got to wait for Brian to go back? I'm like, all you do is you click over there, click on this, whatever. By the end of he was producing everything.
I love that.
This stuff looks super complex, but really it's not. You just, hey, if you want this to show up on the screen, boom, send it over, go there, clear it off. Want that to go up on the screen, you do that, you send it over. It's all right here.
Perfect. Standings
Wow.
after 6.
All right.
You're the standings guy. You got them on the screen.
Yeah, I got to do that. They're all over it.
Just so you know, the right is in fact wall because Michael's losing by 130 to his right-handed partner. So I got to reiterate that. Also, there was a 300 bowled by a right-hander the last game.
No kidding.
Zach Wilkins. I'll read them off. I got it. Let me do it. Let me be it.
Please do.
All right, guys. Games 6 for A squad of Springfield Doubles Shootout. The leaders are still leading. Dimitri Cruz, Michael Holloman, 29-53. Dimitri's gone 40, 70, 289 the last 3. He's bowling very well. In second is Albrecht and Zach Wilkins. Zach Wilkins is crushing them. He had 279, 300 the last 2. They had 557 game 6, which is a lot because scores are going down big time. In third, your defending champs, Chapman and Lavery. That's Sean Lavery. 199, 268 for 467. That score is not going to hurt you at all. AJ Rice and Nate Garcia dropped a little bit. They shot 401. Nate had a little bit of a struggle there. In fifth is Aaron O'Brien and Eddie Bird. We saw them shoot 508, and as expected, it bumped them up. So they only went from fifth to sixth, but I think they created a little bit bigger gap from seventh. But in sixth is Tim and Shay, the best chemistry in the building, and that's just undeniable. And then in seventh, and I think this is about kind of the number we're looking at around sixth, seventh, and eighth, Casey Murphy, Tyler Corbin. They had 422 the last game. They're at 26-35 in eighth. Brandon Carlson and Speedy McLaren, the lefty-lefty connection. They shot 480 the last game. They're at 25-83. They're tied with ninth, and Walsh and Ralston at 25-83. Scores are really tight because you go down all the way to 13th. It's 25-54. So it's a 30-pin gap between 5 spots or so. So that kind of rounds out your score. Again, guys, we take 1 and 4. We have 3 squads of qualifying. We have re-entries, so we don't know the final number we'll cut to until the first shot is thrown in C squad. But I'm going to guess, looking around that 6th place team of each squad to kind of get a gauge of the pace, which is Shay and Tim at 27-27. So there's your standings. How'd I do, Mike?
Great.
Great.
Beautifully.
Like if you rated it 1 out of 10, decimals included.
9.5.
9.5. That's a great score. But I can be better. I can be better.
I
That's all
very
mean.
rarely give out a 10.
Well, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't, because 10 means it's the best ever. You know, no one's ever said scores better.
9.5 was
Perfect.
sick.
Sick. All right. I appreciate that. Why are you getting me all gassed up? Got a couple strikes here on 35-6. Ryan Powers front 3. Danny Bradley front 3. Ryan Powers is standing on 35 to throw a 36. I'm sure a couple people in the chat are going to be grumpy to see that. I'm going to be honest. And maybe it's just because I'm used to it, because the game has turned into this when I started like trying to bowl for a living more often. Like, people seeing right-handers loft the gutter at the end of the day is just the normal for me. Why do people get so upset about that? Like, you know, when people are like, you shouldn't have to loft it halfway down the lane, you shouldn't bowl. I don't get, like, what's the deal with that? Can you elaborate? Like, what do you think the problem is with that?
I mean, where I think it stems from two hate camps. There are 2 camps that hate it.
Do you want to elaborate on what those camps are?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah. So
The traditionalist?
the first camp that hates it is the bowling proprietor that sees that going on.
Uh-huh.
and yells at open play for lofting the ball down the lane. And they hate it when a pro does it, because then if the pros do it, they're leading by example, and then they're going to have all their open play bowlers coming in trying to loft the gutter. Now, I'm not saying they're right. I'm just telling you where the hate camp comes from.
I'm just genuinely curious.
So that's part one of why it gets frowned upon or been given problems.
But then the argument is, well, if you guys don't want us to loft the ball, put more on the lane,
True.
And then that just brings up all the
Right.
But yeah, when the other camp is
The second hate camp comes from other competitors that can't do it. So if there's
I knew that one.
So if there's a bunch of people mauling them, lofting the left gutter cap,
playing sixth arrow,
and you are
camping out at 15.
I need to pick a player. You're Butch Soper. I'm really dating myself.
I don't know who that is
okay,
at all.
all
Give
right.
me someone who's bowling today.
John Brockland. Did you watch Brockland bowl?
Yeah, I bowled nationals with him one time.
Okay, so
guys that just don't have a lot of rev rate.
If it turns into loft in the left gutter, those guys are at a severe disadvantage, and then they're going to say, yeah, well, I had no chance. And typically the lower rev rate guys are older, so they also have a hard time lifting it up over, lofting it and doing that. So that's where it becomes a bit of a problem.
Okay.
So
well, I knew that one.
There's two hate camps. One is the proprietor, and one is the people that if that's where the shot goes to and they can't do it, they fries them.
Yeah.
Fries them.
That one I knew, but the proprietor thing kind of makes sense. But it's just funny to see stuff like that. Ryan Powers, front 5. I don't think we're going to see a lot.
I actually can't. I am surprised that this pattern has developed so deep. I really am. I really am surprised that getting in that deep is working that well.
Develop as in you're saying like it's like successful, like they're bowling well.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to get bad.
Well,
I agree.
I just think that I don't know. Looking at the pattern and the volume and where all the oil is, I didn't feel like you were going to have to get that deep, but the track is really burnt up.
I think this is exactly what I thought it was going to go, just because the center hooks so much. But I am glad to see like there's still ball motion, and it's not like the righty's just like all shot 180 and then the left or anything like that. Not even that the left would bowl good, but you don't want to see like they get so gross that it's like, okay, this is just kind of nonsense,
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Wilkins just shot 300 the last game. Dimitri Cruz had 289. We have the front 5 in front of 2 front 5s in front of us. So it's good to see there's still score. Yeah, you might not want to have to be lofting the gutter a little bit, but it's nothing ridiculous. I don't see anyone hucking it halfway down the lane or anything like that.
No,
so,
it's none of that.
So this is good. The scoring pace is good. All these right-handers that are lofting it a little bit, whether they might not want to do it, this is something that they do fairly often. I mean, Rick Justice there you see sliding at like 46. It's nothing too crazy, but Thomas Jones.
He's here.
He is here. The guy.
He's alive and ready.
I bet he's not wearing socks, too. Oh, yeah, no. Not even close. Not even close. He owns 3 pairs of socks. That's just what he brings on tour whenever we have to bowl, and then he takes them off, so. Very, very, very pleased with this scoring pace. Whether or not I bowl well enough to be in this scoring pace. I asked the chat, I said, what's your preferred scoring pace you like to see? Do you like to see 240s, 220? Like, what do you like to see? And everyone was kind of on the same page. The 215 to 220 range, that's kind of where, besides the people being dumb, like Bug Kroll saying 240 all the time. Someone asked, how was the camp yesterday, Kevin? It was great. It was fun. Everyone was very pleased. The parents that weren't even in it and just watched their kids do it loved it. It was a good time. It's fun to be able to get to work with people like Packy, Kyle Troop, Tommy Jones, Kyle, future Hall of Famer, Tommy, Hall of Famer, Packy, probably going to be a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I couldn't make it down since I'm a future Hall of Famer myself.
I couldn't afford you. I tried to talk you down, and you were going to give me the buddy price, but it still wasn't enough. It wasn't low enough. I thought we were closer than that. So Next time I'll get a couple more sponsors. I'll have Mercedes like donate a car to you or something. So you can come down.
Sprinter van would be nice.
Oh, you want a Sprinter van?
Yeah, Mercedes Sprinter van.
Okay. So if I get one of those, you'll come down
Yeah,
and coach
yeah.
bowling, or can I get you to coach other things?
Life.
Can I just not tell you what you're coaching and then just throw you in a room and like, like on Impractical Jokers?
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
They do a presentation without telling you.
Yep.
If I got you a Sprinter van, you would do that?
Oh, yeah, I would. Oh, that would be amazing.
I'm going to be honest. I wish I could get a Sprinter van now because that sounds fun.
You know, in all seriousness, I just thought about this. Impractical Jokers, the show itself,
Yeah.
outstanding. The
Yeah.
personalities that they had on the show, outstanding.
Yep.
Here's what would be interesting now that we've brought this up. What if Sal and Murr and who the hell am I missing? Not Joe, because he's not there anymore.
I thought he came back.
No. Jeez, what Brian Quinn. Jesus. Anyway, what if Impractical Jokers did an Impractical Jokers 2.0, and it was 4 new dudes that we've never met before, and and not people know them yet.
Well, it needs to be because they're starting to get too well known.
Yeah, they're wait.
Would you want to audition?
You and I.
We just do an audition together?
Let's do it.
I would be so good at that show.
Me too.
I know.
We
I'm
would
so in.
Crush Impractical Jokers too.
I'm so in.
Yeah.
I'm so down. Impractical Jokers 2, but it's just 2 dudes.
Yep.
See what we did there?
Well, yeah, but we let them cast across America and add the 2 people that would fit well with us, and we just do it.
But would you want to cast, or would you want to say like we got some guys that would fit well, so that way we would have our friends?
Probably would be a good idea. I mean, they were 4 friends, so maybe you and I just need to cast this out and get the other 2 to go with us.
All right, so you get to pick one, I get to pick one. Who are you picking?
Who would I pick to be on Impractical
Jokers? You're one friend, and then my one friend, and then we all just become friends.
I may have to give that answer later because I really have to think about this. It's got to be somebody that doesn't really crack under, when there's humor going on. You got to be able to keep a straight face for the most part.
Right.
Unless it's really, really funny, and then when they do crack, it needs to be hilarious.
I mean, I agree. Would you rather have...
They also got to be a little quick-witted, a little Wayne Brady-like.
Would you rather see a friend who gets embarrassed easy and, like, you throw them in that situation, or would you rather see someone who, like, is not afraid at all of any of that?
I'd like to see somebody who's
like
not afraid of any of that, because then it would be just a challenge. It would be such a challenge every time. We'd have to bring our A game.
It would be an embarrassment off. See, I don't get embarrassed, but there's definitely a limit to where I'm like, I don't know if I could do that.
I'm not saying I would pick this guy, but he was just here in the booth, and I just want to walk through this for a second. If Tommy Jones
would be perfect.
If he was part of it, yeah, maybe.
But if you got it out of him.
But here's the thing: that we could do things to him and tell the audience about him. So, like, first of all, he only eats like French fries and ketchup and hamburgers with just ketchup, right? So imagine if we're like, hey, Tommy, you have to take a bite of whatever this, you know what I mean?
As the punishment.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, that would be...
You have to eat a salad and then sell the salad to people.
Right. He hates salads, right? So that's the kind of stuff that would be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, who would I bring?
Tommy is also, like, super respectful to people and does not like to be rude to people.
Yeah, so
making
him do that.
Making him be really rude to someone.
But he's also very competitive.
Like making him walk up to like a beautiful woman and have to like talk bad to her.
Yeah.
He would be, that's like nails on a chalkboard to him.
But do you think him being nice to people trumps his competitive side? Because he is one of the most competitive guys I know.
I'm not sure. That's what would be so interesting in the dynamic.
He legitimately...
He wants to win so bad.
He announced to the coaching clinic, because there was a kid there that just started taking up bowling in like a year, and he was pretty good. And he said, I'm a golfer, though. And the kid was like 12, but he was like a 9 handicap already, which is very good at 12.
Tommy probably wanted to go play
Tommy
for money.
immediately called out everyone and said, me and him versus anybody in golf. We'll leave right now and go. With like this 12-year-old who's probably a stud at golf. So does the niceness of Tommy Jones trump the competitor in Tommy Jones?
Yeah, it'd be tough. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Someone said Brian Gray would be great. He would be the perfect person. Brian Gray used to bowl. You might know who Brian Gray is. He used to bowl out with Sean Swanson. Tommy Crane,
I do know.
Brian Gray. Yep. They used to all bowl out together.
Yeah.
He would be perfect for that because he would not be afraid. He'd be like a Joe. He wouldn't be afraid to do anything. That's a really good one, Scotty.
But I think they should. I think they need to reboot Impractical Jokers with 4 new guys.
All right. It's our time.
I do believe that.
It's our time.
I think it would be very successful.
I agree.
It's just like a new season of any other show, like a reality show, like a Big Brother or American Idol or anything.
But then there's also like you're living up to an expectation of the original. So then it's like we hope these guys are as good as the first guys we had.
Yeah, it's just different. Like Real World. Real World every year had a new cast, right?
Yeah.
And they were in a new city. Well, what if all of a sudden...
fake show.
Well,
Yeah. It's not so real now, is it, Mike?
maybe not. I actually had this idea. I actually had this idea before for Columbia 300 when I was working with the Ebonite brands.
Yeah.
I wanted, and it would cost way too much money, so it never got approved. But I wanted to do Impractical Bowlers, and I wanted to have at the time like Missy Parkin was on staff, and so was Scott Norton, and they're like best buds.
Yep.
So I was gonna have them like working in a snack bar together.
Yeah.
And I was gonna have like 2 other Columbia 300, people. I think Blanchard was gonna be one, and somebody else. So there's this idea I pitched, and basically, Scott Norton would be up working the register, and Missy's in the back making the food, or vice versa. You could switch it up however you wanted to.
Yeah. Why does the girl have to be the one cooking?
It could be either way. So
Almost got him, guys. I almost got him.
so anyway, and then just the things that you would say to Scott that he had to do and say to Missy while the person was ordering the food, I thought would have been really funny.
Yeah.
Like, if they're like, yeah, I want to get a cheeseburger, and then Scott had to turn around and say, Missy, drop another chicken fingers. And then the person's just like, huh, what? Or just whatever.
Right. And then you never made it. Could have been comedic gold. Could have been comedic gold.
Scott Norton having to deliver the food down to the lanes, and like it's not even close to the right order, and like he puts like a couple spider rings on top of the or in the burger or something. Just different weird stuff.
You could still make that happen. I have a video that I want to do. It could be with the right people. You would like it and be a part of it, but I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want anyone to steal it. But I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
But it's something similar to that. But you got to get the right people for it.
Well, let me know if I can ever help with something like that.
Oh, you could with this one. This would be a fun one. You would enjoy this one. We'll talk about it off air. Back to the bowling. Game 7, we are finishing up A squad of qualifying at the 2024 Springfield Doubles Shootout. I'm Kevin Williams. We're with Mike Flanagan in the booth, my co-host, because I know how to click one button now, guys. I am pretty much manning this whole thing back here.
It's perfect.
If you guys could see, if we had the other camera on me, I'm just clicking away every second to make sure all this stuff's running, It doesn't just sit here and run on its own. It's all me now. We have B squad that starts at 1:30. 1:30? I could have sworn we started at 2. And I'm the one who picked those times 5 years ago. So if you guys go get some lunch, take a little break from watching bowling and listening to me and Mike talk about Impractical Jokers 2, where we're going to be casted in that, and then come back and see us again. I'll be bowling, actually. So if you want to just see some mediocre bowling at best by me, I'll be back bowling B squad. Ryan Powerson shoot 277 this last game as we flip off to the next player.
Yeah, I saw some
Not a lot
guys
of
finishing
scores.
up here.
Not a lot of scores this last game. This is kind of what I expected here.
I'd like to see Leah Glazer come back this evening and bowl again and go like 90 to 100 over.
Did Mike Ormsby bowl well?
He bowled pretty good. Yeah, he's.
Leah looks like she went.
Ormsby 8-8. Well, wait a minute. You got the new one.
Yeah, I do.
You got the new one.
I do because I'm the one manning all this. I am now.
After 6 games.
I'm the newest Inside Bowling Open employee.
That's right. Let's see. Ormsby 1321 for 6, so he's 121 over.
All right, that's good.
So 250 over right now puts us in
10th, 12th, lower, higher.
14th or so.
All right.
Double
But
the score.
14th is like 50 back of like 7th.
Yeah.
See, that's the other thing I love about scoring paces like this, which I guess it's kind of the same when they get higher, but the scores get a lot more jumbled at this scoring pace because, people don't just pull away. And so when you do bowl a big game, you get rewarded in the standings. Where when the scoring pace is too high and you guys pop off of 550 and you're like, whoa, we only moved up 2 spots. If you bowl 550 here, you're going to move up a considerable amount. Ryan Powers 270 the last game. That's huge because not many people are bowling anything too crazy. That pair seems to be just pretty good because we had a 230 on it as well. Off camera on 33 and 4, we have Casey Murphy and Tyler Corbin right now, who Casey has 279 going in the 10th. Tyler has 2-0. So they can get to 480, and they're in, I think, 7th or 8th. They're right at that bubble cut that I was talking about. They're 7th right now. So that's kind of the target score we're looking at just to get an idea of the pace. Around 6th or 7th place to make the cut.
And just to tell you, too, like their games, 470, 420, 467, 391, 465, 422. They haven't lit the world on fire by any means.
Yeah, to be in 7th.
Right.
And a chance to shoot 480 where scores are going to be lower here. So 480, get them to like 5th maybe, and I would say that's probably good. He came up to me and asked, how does the re-entry work? Is it a lottery? Is it first come, first serve? I said, it's just first come, first serve. He said, can we put us down just in case? Because we're kind of at that number. But I think if they strike out, I think they might just run with it or wait till C squad. So big 10th frame coming up on lane 33. You can barely see him. Everyone else scores aren't really. Well, we do have this extra camera.
We do.
That was going to be on our beautiful faces, but instead.
Yeah, I moved it over here.
Perfect.
I love being on camera.
I do too.
That's why we need to be on Practical Joker.
We do. We are in Practical Jokers. All right, Casey Murphy, first ball in the 10th, a chance at 279. This is a huge shot here. This is the difference of them being in and being out, I think.
Kevin, it's been real. I want you to bowl really well this afternoon.
Thank you.
I'd like to see you make a deep run. I'd love to be not calling the action with you and watching you win the event, honestly.
Right. As much as I do love commentating with you, I would.
Makes my job a lot harder, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to do well. It's
because
time.
I run it now. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you've been, like you said, you've been kind of, you haven't been picking bad partners. You've just been picking partners that are just friends of yours, guys, kind of even things out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with this guy here, local guy. I want to bowl with him. I want to bowl with him. I want to do whatever. And now this year, you got a bit of a horse with you this time. And I wish you guys nothing but the best.
I'm looking forward to bowling with Anthony. We've never bowled together, and I've known Anthony for a long time now. I'm looking forward to it. And I love that when I asked him to bowl, he was more than ecstatic to bowl with me. And that always makes you feel good. So I'm looking forward to it.
He doesn't, Dennis. He doesn't. He doesn't know that. Well, Kevin, we got a 50-minute turnaround here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here.
Okay. Yeah, go get you some lunch and take a little break. I'm going to go start getting my stuff ready, too. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, we'll be back in about an hour for B Squad. Watch more people strike in, not strike in. The conversation isn't going to be quite as good because I won't be in the booth, and I'm sorry for that, everyone, but I can't be at 2 places at once, and I have to be on the lane. So
we're going to take the L this afternoon, that's for sure, with just me here. That's Kevin walking out of the booth, stage left. Didn't even turn down his soundboard before he set down the mic, so apologize for that. But that's going to do it for opening round coverage. 2024 Springfield doubles here at Enterprise Park Lanes in Springfield, Missouri. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Columbia 300, Brunswick Track, all the B7 brands, Springfield Coring and Cutting, Ben Crazy, Classic Yard, and Enterprise Park Lanes, home of the Greater Ozark singles and doubles and team event every single year right here in Springfield. So for Kevin Williams and for everybody here that's doing such a great job, Jessica, CT, of course the Weimer family, my name is Mike Flanagan. You've been watching bowling here on InsideBowling.com. Remember, you can use that coupon code YouTube to save 15% off our apparel over at InsideBowling.com. We'd be happy to make you some fresh, new gear Don't forget, we also sell bowling balls, bags, shoes, all those great things. We love an opportunity for your business. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in today. You guys are the best. We absolutely love bringing you tournaments here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, we're approaching 90,000 subs. It's been a great journey. A lot of people have helped put us here, including one in the chat right now, one Dennis Hacker, who spent a lot of time on these airwaves and helped us build this thing at the beginning. So again, I want to thank you all. I will be back in about 50 minutes or so with B Squad qualifying. We got a loaded field. Not going to miss that whatsoever. We also got C Squad coming up later today. And, of course, don't forget to join us tomorrow for our Advancers round and our Stepladder finals. If you're watching this video later down the road, make sure you switch over to those archived. So for now, that's it. See you guys in 50 minutes right here on Inside Bowling.